right. We got some people in stream already. Screamer Protector. Yo, I'm the only one here. Well, you are. But hello. Draconic James. Hey. Black Lion. Ola. How's it going, guys? So, if anybody's... Okay, I feel like there's some discussion that needs to happen based on this completely insane title that you might have read. He mentioned me. Yeah, bro, I'm small. I am at a point where I can definitely mention people in my chat simply because I'm still small. In any case, so there is definitely some things I would like to cover when I've got literally the most ambitious idea. Well, one of the most ambitious ideas, because let's be 100% honest, I've had quite a few of those. So, let's start with the big thing. Yes, my title says putting every Mario Kart track on one Minecraft map. So, yeah, that sounds like a very ambitious idea of the idea that I'm trying to build every single Mario Kart track on one map. I had this thought and this idea during work, and I was just like, it would be fun to attempt. However, what needs to be said is that this ambitious idea should not be taken super seriously. The odds of me being able to build every single Mario Kart track on a Minecraft map are slim. I've already built tracks before, but I have not built massive amounts of them. Granted, well, maybe I have, not massive, but I've built a lot just over the course of different servers and such. So, let's keep expectations in check here. The odds of this becoming a thing that happens regularly is all dependent on how much viewer engagement this stream gets, or the next few. And on top of that, I am not making this something I'm going to be stressing myself out over. Absolutely not. If this gets a lot of traction and people want to see me continue, I will. The odds of this getting done? Slim. Very slim. And I think that's, again, the one most important thing that I want to stress. I'm just wandering around, just kind of filling out the map here. Because I am doing this on a creative server on my Switch. Chunks still loading. Yeah, I'm well aware that the chunks are still loading. This is the Switch, guys. Also, yes, my avatar has a freaking Among Us sweater on. So, okay. To get more to the point, yes, I want to try to recreate or just create in general the Mario Kart map that I've been making through my videos, those Mario Kart World Map ideas. It's honestly going to be hard on a regular server, especially like everything is not flat, but I need everything to be like this simply so that I can actually like create depth, because I can't make depth in a flat map. So the aim of today is to start simple. If I could find a nice, like, simple spot to start, the starting area will just be, I'm going to be building the Mario circuits. Yeah. Okay. So, I just need to find an ideal level spot to start. Preferably closer to the center of the map, but, you know, we kind of have to just take what we can get to. I've got my computer up. I need to get my pictures because I need to have images of the maps, which I 100% have. In fact, I've got a lot. I've got all the maps for Mario Kart 7, 8, 64, Double Dash, DS, Super Circuit. I've got a few from Wii. And all the Super Mario Kart ones. Now, Super Nintendo and Game Boy Advance tracks are actually very easy to build. I've built many of them in the past. because they're all sprite based anyway, and like one block in the or tile in the maps on those equate to roughly one block. So I've made pretty good one-to-one replicas of SNES maps. So, and since I want to start with the SNES maps, I'm going to get Mario Circuit 1 up. So, let's try to find a decent flat area to start. I think down here is looking pretty good. This might require some clearing, some mass clearing out, because the Mario circuits need to be in this area. What have I done? What have I decided to start? Okay, first things first. So this is all crafting material. This is natural. All right. I'm going to need some grass blocks. That's a good start. So I doubt you're not going to be able to see everything on this pitty little map. I just need to use this to find a decent spot to start. So for anybody who's really interested in seeing how this is going to go down, let's start with, we're going to, like, for the SNES and GBA maps, I'm pretty devoted to actually building the entire things. Not necessarily the backdrops, but, like, the tracks, the off-road, and all that. But for bigger tracks that require a lot more detail and are more or less comprised of a 3D model, those we're going to try to focus on the maps themselves first and the detailing later. Oh my goodness, Fawful's Minion just posted the top 10 Mario RPGs right while I'm streaming, god damn it. If I had known that, I would have been watching that first, but nah, we're here. That's something to watch later, though. Oh, I've been waiting for that one. Okay. So what I need, so if we're going to start with Mario circuits, I'm going to need some colored terracotta. That's what I use for the walls. So red, green, yellow, and blue. We're also going to need to clear out a lot of trees. Corporations will love this shit. Clear cutting for business purposes? Yes, that's what they do. But at the same time, I'm also making natural, or rather natural environments. So let's not compare it. Hate it when a video I want to watch appears when I'm watching live. Yeah, that's valid. Imagine being the one streaming this. I want to be watching that, but I gotta do this. I want to do this first. Commit to bits. All right. Sorry, Mother Nature, you're gonna hate me for this. So we're gonna see how far an idea like this goes. Again, the commitment to this will largely depend on how much engagement I can get out of viewers. All right, so this is obviously going to be a huge map. Well, relatively big. Mario Circuit 1's not small. Well, none of the tracks are going to be small, especially with the GBA and SNES ones, which I'm basically doing like one-to-one replicas of. Otherwise, this is just a chill stream, guys. If you want, I appreciate anybody who's tuned in and watching. If you want to chat, just chat and chat. That's all there's gonna be. I will answer questions. I will talk. I will do all of that jazz because that's really what this is all about. Okay, so I think I'm gonna start the corner of Mario Circuit 1 right here. Oh, lime terracotta. Yeah, that's worked. Okay. So we're going to start with the outlining. So let's see, like, there's 3 going this way, and then 4 going this way. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's the start. Next up is yellow. Whoops. I'm actually going to rearrange these blocks, so green. I'm not used to playing this on the Switch. Take, so yellow, yeah, yellow, green, this order. Alright, so going this way. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to be a lot of this. Okay, what I usually do is okay, so we'll get one full. If anybody wants to follow along with the map, Super Mario Wiki has these detailed maps. I was the one who uploaded them, I believe, initially. Alright, we're going to need to do a lot of clearing. Yo, Goomsalotl's playing Minecraft as well. Let's go. This is currently a private server. I've also teased the idea of opening to the public, but the thing is, if I'm using the Mario skins, you know, in a classic Nintendo fashion, they don't let anybody else see their Mario stuff on other consoles, so that's the only thing. I theoretically could turn it off to engage in with other people who might be on PC or other consoles, but just heating up my dinner. I'll be watching while I eat dinner. Sounds good, Black Lion. I hope you enjoy. It's going to be a very chill stream, so nothing too heavy. Let's see. I don't need these. Remove those. What I do need, however, just because. Swiftness, slowness. Night vision. If only. Okay, you know what? I don't want to fill my inventory with glass bottles, so night vision. 8 minutes, perfect. All right, we'll do this. Is that the longest? Is 8 minutes the longest? Yeah, I'm gonna guess yes. Yo, Baron, what should I build? That's a very good question, my good friend. The only reason why I'm here is because I know what I'm building. But, I don't know. I had pizza. Oh, dude, pizza is so good. I love pizza. I myself just had some leftovers from our Christmas dinner. It's prime rib roast with some mashed potatoes and some vegetables. So tasty, so delicious. I love prime rib. As for what you should build, I don't know, a house, a pizza building. I mean, they were talking about pizza, so that just came up to mind. All right, a lot of clearing out necessary here. Ooh, a parrot. There's a bird. Sorry, bud. Construction work going on. Gotta flatten out this area. And lots more of it because there's like 3 other Mario circuits that need to go here. Are you making Mario Circuit 1? Yes, that is 100% where I'm starting. Also, Super Mario Maker Fanatic, welcome aboard. But yes, I am starting with Mario Circuit 1. Granted, my giant world map of Mario Kart tracks is still currently in the works, and I've been, for anybody who is interested in the videos themselves, I was working on the map a little bit today, spacing things out. I have a really good idea for the Bowser's Castle section, which I was primarily working on, and where several battle maps can go, so eventually I'll probably get back into that. Okay, so I've made up to the first red wall on the very bottom. What is the best and worst pizza? Okay. So, personally speaking, I love Pizza Hut. But pizza, when you get a thick crust pizza, and it tastes really good when it's fresh. You guys you're gonna need to move, buddy. I said you're gonna need to move. I'm building here. Yeah, you can sit there if you want. Yellow, so 1, 2, I need to make 3 full ones. One, whoops. Damn it, I get so confused with these controls. One. Wow, all that clearing out and I was able to get one line of colors down. I used to make tracks like this all the time, but my brother deleted my world. Wow, that's rough. Maybe closer to the end of the stream, I have another map of like several Mario Kart tracks that I've made, including I think at least 5 SNES tracks and I think 4 or 5 N64 tracks and a few GBA. Well, I've started some GBA tracks. I think I've done Boo Lake and Broken Pier as completely finished, and Cheeseland is in the making. N64 tracks, I've made Calamari Desert, Frappe Snowland, Toad's Turnpike, and Bowser's Castle. The Bowser's Castle looks really nice. I don't mean to brag, but... And SNES maps, I've made Vanilla Lake 1, Choco Island 1, Mario Circuit 3, SNES Rainbow Road. I've made SNES Rainbow Road many times. It's super easy to make. And I think that's it. And I think I've got N64 Rainbow Road started, but that massive ass track is less than well on completed. I've made others before on other servers. I know I've made TikTok Clock before. I've made Electrodrome before. I've made Neo Bowser City, Music Park, Sherbet, N64 Sherbet Land, Baby Park. Like that's much of an achievement though. Trying to think, what other tracks have I made? I've made Wii's Rainbow Road. That one was a challenge. More GBA tracks. Oh, I've made GBA Rainbow Road. That one didn't turn out perfect, but it turned out pretty okay. I think I have images somewhere on my computer. I was trying to do this exact thing. Every track, I was done with Super Mario Kart 64, Super Circuit, and Double Dash, and halfway done with DS. That's impressive, my guy. That is really impressive. I applaud the effort to trying this kind of stuff. So, again, with this attempt, especially with my world map, which I believe still on a comment in my community post area. Oh my goodness, I got a lot of work to do here. Whew. Okay, so maybe as I go, I should just like build some of the track itself so I know how much I'm deleting. Doing this all manually is probably the dumbest decision I could have made, but I don't know how else to do it. Okay. I don't have too much space to work with, so... I've never really thought of playing Minecraft for my channel up until now, but this is a good way to cover it. Have one project to work on and maybe just kind of stream it every once in a while. I will 100% hold a poll after this. If anybody wants to see this continue, let me know, because again, you guys are the complete deciding factor on whether or not I commit to this. But I want to be 100% clear that the expectations should be kept in check, because this is an insane idea. And I've made many ambitious ideas in the past, and I, while have not regretted them, have realized that they are a lot to pile on my plate. I've burned myself out on many things because of these ambitious ideas. So I need to watch out for myself here. This needs to be a downloadable map. Oh, again, if I knew how to do half of that, I would. Because again, like, getting other people involved would probably make the process go faster. That being said, I'm not much of a project manager myself, because when it comes to me, I personally believe in working as a team, not working as a leader. But at the same time, this is a very specific idea, and I would want it done a very specific way. So on top of that, it would be people. It would involve people who would be willing to see me as a project leader. I'm currently trying again, but instead I'm doing it in a random order, not by game. I just finished Wario Shipyard last week, and that was so hard. Yeah, that sounds hard. Cool Monkey, yo, how's it going? How's progress on follow-up 3? So I'm currently working on the map itself to space out the tracks. I have come up with a very solid idea on what I want to do. So once I've got that map spaced out for a bit, or spaced out more, I will start adding more battle tracks and researching the arcade tracks. Sorry, I should be doing something. Otherwise, I have a week off of work this coming week. So from today till the 11th, I'm off of work. So I plan to do a lot of that kind of stuff, like work on that map, work on some videos like the Chow World Extended World Episode 4, and my Mario Kart Tour track rankings. So that's 1. This is 2. So I need to make 2 more full rows of the one color. Okay. It's going to be a lot of clearing out. This is why I tend to do these things on a flat map, but with how much depth is needed for, you know, tracks like Dandelion Depths, literally has depths in the name, I can't work with a flat map. Oops. Where I am, it's called Wario Galleon. Yeah, that's true. The Mario Kart 7 especially had a lot of tracks that had different names in, like, I believe the European versions. So like Neo Bowser City is called I think just Koopa City. Music Park was Melody Motorway, which I think is kind of a cooler name. Rock Mountain was Alpine Pass, another really good name. Mako Woohoo and Woohoo Loop, I think, had different names. Piranha Plant Slide was Piranha Plant Pipeway, I believe. In Europe, it's called Wario's Galleon, but in US, where I am, it's Wario Shipyard. Yep. Did you know the warm chicken model in the Mario texture pack is a stroll and stew? That's hilarious. This is going to drive you insane, isn't it, Ghost, with the most saying? Yes, there is a very big chance that this will drive me insane, which is exactly why I'm starting with Mario circuits, because Mario, or SNES tracks in general, are a little more manageable and less likely to drive me insane, because I've done this before. It's nothing terribly new. It's committing myself to the idea that's going to be the problem. But if I have some chill people to hang out with, it shouldn't be that bad. I think another... Are you a little oink from frickin' Paper Mario? I've never seen this color pig before. Looks more like a warthog. But yeah, no, like, if I commit to this idea, we have to also understand this will take a long time. Okay, oh my goodness. Note to self, why am I, or like, question, like, why am I, well, I'm doing this on the Switch because that's the only console that I have Minecraft on that I can, like, literally stream off of. I have not perfected even PC streaming yet. Neo Bowser City is called Koopa City. Yep. Baby Park is so hard to do. Fan of Yoshi. Hey, how's it going? So, funny story. I want to share this one, Fan of Yoshi. Just passing by. Sweet. Good to see you. The two of us, while we I don't believe we've chatted too much. We know each other from Super Mario Wiki, where we're both users on that site. And just recently, when I was watching a stream from a different guy, both of us were in that stream, and this guy asked me, "Do I know you from Mario Wiki?" And I'm like, "If you know me as Tail777, then yes, that's me." So I thought that was really cool that I met up with another Mario Wiki user on YouTube. Baby Park is actually really hard since you have to make the whole theme park. Yeah, see, see what we're doing to start is, yeah, we're just doing the tracks themselves. So Baby Park won't be that hard. Once I start making the background details, Baby Park's going to be incredibly challenging. Oh, I guess another thing I should probably mention is which version of tracks I'm going to be working with. Largely, there isn't. Okay, I'm largely going to be targeting their classic renditions, especially for SNES and GBA tracks. Now, that might not be the case the entire time. Like, maybe I'll try to explore with some of them because, like, realistically speaking, I would love to do the, like, 8 Deluxe / Tour versions of, like, Bowser Castle 3 from SNES or GBA Bowser Castle 4. But a result of that is that, like, I have the maps for the originals. That's not going to help me build the tour versions. So maybe what I'll do is I'll model them after the originals with the block layouts, but I will add some elevation to them based on where I want. Like, because, like, the tour version of Bowser Castle 4 was fire. And I think I've already made it very clear that SNES Bowser Castle 3 has to be one of the greatest improvements for a track I've ever seen. I think this cat just took on a bird and won. Bro got his dinner. Bro got cooked bird. I was like, is this Tail 777? I gotta ask. I actually knew it was you specifically. I had personal family problems, but it hasn't been resolved. I kind of feel in a more mood today. Well, I hope everything goes better for you. I know there's a lot of people out there. We all have our issues, like whatnot, and it's rough. Life is rough, no doubt about it. So I hope you can feel like just safe. Just be yourself here. You don't have to worry about nothing. This is a judgment-free zone, and I hope that we create an environment where people can just feel good. They can just feel happy. Okay, so I think I need to do one more full row of color here. Okay, so I've made up to this, I think, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, I have. So after this is a row of 4 green. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it starts going. Oh, wait a minute. That's 5. That's 5 green blocks. Okay, and then going up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 yellow blocks. There's a villager over here, or a trader over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. I've also been developing a Pokemon alternate universe. Well, not in any particular format, just mostly concepts. Yeah, that's fair. Do you have the map for reference? Yes, I do. I have just about every a lot of Mario Kart maps saved up as images on my computer, which I'm currently using. But I also know that for especially the Wii U and Switch tracks, I know I can use models from the model resource to use those as reference. So that will make some of these tracks a little easier. It's just a matter of, how much I can commit to making these, which let's find out. But starting small and easy, and honestly, starting with the Mario circuits is actually a good idea from my point of view, because I can also kind of get a good idea on how I want to connect them. Because keep in mind, all my SNES tracks on my map are connected together into one track. So it'll be fun to see how I go about connecting them in that sense. Okay, I'm going to have to clear out a lot of this open area. I'll see how long I go for. I'm probably going to stream, at the very least, my usual 2.5 hours, but we'll see. I tend to lose track of time when playing Minecraft, and if I get a lot of people talking, oh, you can imagine that I will lose track of time. It mostly ties more into the game canon, though you will find though with anime elements wherever convenient if it works. But with my own touch, for example, female Mr. Mime will be Mrs. Mime. That's fair. I myself have also dabbled in the idea of Pokemon fan ideas. I usually like to mix in my own personal realm with the idea because my fictional realm is known as the realm of elements, so it kind of has like a bit of a Pokemon vibe to it. Especially considering when I make RPG games, they're like a mix of Pokemon and Mario RPGs. I have also made fan Pokemon ideas in the form of regional variants and some past Paradox ideas, as well as kind of trying the idea of Mega Evolutions now that ZA has successfully skyrocketed that motivation. A few ideas I've had for regional variants include, I think I've already mentioned a bug electric Beedrill in the past, but I've also come up with like a ground type Dunsparce that evolves into a ground dragon to Dunsparce, a fire type Pachirisu, a water psychic Gardevoir, a steel, I think a steel electric Toxtricity. It's either I think it's steel electric. I think we forego the poison type there. And my brother gave me the idea for a grass fighting Surfetch'd, which I thought was like really awesome. Which is also very weird because Surfetch'd is the evolution of a variant in of itself. So it's just like, would it evolve from would it be a split evolution from a Galarian Farfetch'd, or what are we working with here? But in any case, yeah, fan ideas for this kind of stuff is like, that's what we do. That's what we as fans do. We make our own ideas for the things we love. So, hey, all for it. Okay, let me see. Let me catch up with some other comments. Mario Maker Fanatic question: will you be making the track elements function, like dash panels, gliders, etc., or is it purely visual? So, from a functional standpoint, probably like not. Obviously, like I will put the dash panels and glider panels where they would appear. Would they move you faster or cause you to start flying? No. I am pretty basic when it comes to Minecraft. I know nothing about modding. I only know how to build off of a reference. Screamer Protector, what's your favorite game and track from that game? Okay. So, my favorite Mario Kart track is Toad's Turnpike. Now, my Mario Kart ranking videos have kind of made that a little tricky to pinpoint because I currently have 3 Rainbow Roads listed as some of my favorites, and they're above Toad's Turnpike. But that's only because in those videos they are cheating the system because I did not feel like I could put 3 Stellar Rainbow Roads behind freaking Toad's Turnpike. Something felt wrong about that, but the reality is Toad's Turnpike is my favorite track. As for my favorite game, that's very hard. Because I have to separate what's the best game and what's my favorite game. Objectively speaking, I think the best game in the series has to be Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. There is no doubt about that. You do not have a game with 96 tracks in it in a multiplayer environment that's not Tour and not just be one of the best games. Like, Tour has more tracks, sure, but it's a mobile game, and it does not have a lot of good opinions on it from the fan base. I'm not one of them. I love Tour, but I know a lot of people don't have high opinions on it. I would say, for me personally, I think my favorite Mario Kart game would likely be Mario Kart Wii. Mostly because I think it was like the level of chaos that Mario Kart Wii has is not only fun, but it doesn't feel BS. Like with Mario Kart 8, there have been one too many times where I've literally gotten hit on the line and it almost felt like that was just a scripted thing that needed to happen. It's why I play without items every once in a while, because I know that like something's just gonna BS me at the last minute. With Mario Kart Wii, it feels like even if it's a massive amounts of bullshit happening, It's happening to everybody, CPUs or not. And I still feel like I can get back into the lead in a fair, like, just as easily. Like, for starters, I think the item distribution's a little bit better in Mario Kart Wii, where it's based on your placement, not how close you are to first place. So, you know, when you're behind, you're going to get good items regardless. And not a mushroom because, oh, hey, well, first place is still in sight, despite the fact that you're probably in 8th place. So here's a mushroom and maybe a green shell. And it's just like, bro, I'm in 8th place out of 12. Give me something useful. Cool Monkey Official. The only stream when the streamer actually interacts with the viewers. Again, I want to make that something I continuously do, but a main reason why I interact with all the viewers is because there's enough of you that I can keep track of it all. I don't feel like there's like a comment happening literally every second that makes it hard to keep up with everybody. And I think, I don't know anything about being a professional YouTuber, but I would imagine that's a huge thing for professionals who stream. And it's keeping a track of everybody in their chat. So having like 5 or 6 people that I can keep track of, it makes it a lot easier for me to interact with other people. Fan of Yoshi, I'm going to sacrifice the sanctity of the stream by mentioning a specific individual name, but Ash does not exist. Fair. Ash Ketchum's got quite the story behind him, and legacy, that for that matter. The question is it a good legacy or a bad legacy? On one hand, this dude has gone through every single Pokemon region, and he has done some pretty impressive feats. Like, you know, awaken Lugia and stop the 3 legendary birds from disgracing the natural balance of the Earth. Literally throwing hands with Mewtwo and taking on a freaking space dragon who looked at Deoxys and said, "What the hell are you doing here? Get the hell off my planet." And on top of that, he has met the literal creator of the world, the Pokemon world, the deities of time and space. Fucked around in Antimatter Zone. I don't know. Like, I haven't even seen all the Pokemon movies. Like, this dude has done some shit that should not be done by 10-year-old kids. On the other hand, he needs help beating a Surskit in Kalos after adventuring for how long in how many regions? How do you lose to a Surskit when you have a Pokemon with the type advantage that has seen just as much shit as you have? Questionable, Ash. There, I said it. Facts of the day. Draconic James, what do you want the next Pokemon region to be like? Okay. I have to say, I want a Canadian region. Now, I know that's biased, but we've had region based off of the UK with Galar. We've had Alola based on Hawaii, Kalos based on France, Unova based off of the US to a degree. We've had 4 regions based off of areas in Japan. And we've got Paldea, which is, I believe, based off of Spain. And we have Hisui, which is, again, kind of like ancient Japan to a degree. I don't think I'm missing any. But I would love to see a Canadian region where it's like we get some like heavily forested areas with like giant evergreens and stuff like that. That would be cool. I don't really mind about Tour only because I'm a mobile user. Fair. Also, your audio is breaking. Oof. I don't know how... Yeah, it might just be because I'm using my headset. Usually is like that. My voice keeps cutting out. Same with game audio. Okay. It's getting a bit clearer. Weird. Okay. I'm gonna raise my audio just a little bit. Game audio up a little bit. So Still no audio. Okay, that's weird. Okay, let me do a row here. Let me do some building. So I got the 5 yellow blocks, so I need 4 blue, red, and green. So 4 blue, 3, 4, 4 red, and 4 green. Now it's cutting out again. Okay. I wonder why it's doing that. Question, can people hear me like this? I just did a different... I hear the sound. Okay, what's wrong with it? I have no idea. Like, honestly, okay, so I'm capturing all of this off of Elgato. I can hear now. Okay, now it's low quality. Because I did change the mic to microphone, a different mic. Okay, you know what? Let me try something completely different. I'm currently using my Razer Kraken headset. Let me try plugging in my regular mic that I use for recording. So give me 1 second. I will be out. So give me 1 quick second. Okay. Is that any better for anybody? I've plugged in my my Yeti speaker, my Yeti mic. Still no sound for Black Lion. That's weird. What the hell are you doing here, bro? Who invited this guy? Okay. Is there any improvement? I can hear perfect now. Thanks. Okay, that's good for you. Much better. Awesome. Okay, so this seems to be the move. It should also be noted, this is not necessary for me to mention. What the hell is... Cow? Alright. I'm going to need to fill in some of this now. But, yeah, my chow buddy has been sitting on my desk this whole time, too. Okay, so it seems like people can hear me a little better now. That's good. We're in the clear now. Ugh. Still have to question if this was a good choice for me to do. Absolutely. You know what? This gives me a good opportunity to just chill with people. Useful for Moo Moo Meadows. Absolutely. Did you read what I said about AZ? Yeah, I'm going to do that right now. Let me go back to some of the old comments. Okay, so before everything went haywire with my audio, additionally, AZ and the whole Floette/War storyline will be restored in my alternate universe, unlike what they did with the anime. Yeah, fair enough. I see the games as more canon than the anime. The anime is its own different thing, in my opinion. All right, and then you also were saying, I'm aiming to restore... Oh yeah, you were just saying that, yeah. No video problems for me, only audio problems. That's weird. I don't know what it is about my game audio, I'm not gonna lie. But, all right. Let's go back to just clearing some of this out. I'm not gonna lie, I was originally gonna have maybe some music playing for myself in the background. Actually... Reset the stream, not the streamer. Oh, I don't think you're talking to me. Okay, hold on. I have a playlist of just about every Mario Kart music. Also, this might change at a later point in the stream, but my AU is not, my alternate universe is not for kids. You will have some characters say fuck, for example. That's fair. I mean, like, come on, we're adults. We can do these kinds of things, and if people are going to get mad at language, well, I don't know, monitor your kids a bit more. Also, it's not my fault you let your kids play Call of Duty at the age of, what, 6? Yeah, man. If people are going to be stingy about language, then monitor your kids and what they're doing. Don't take it out on us. Add music in the background. No, it's mostly my personal comfort. Yeah, fair enough. I don't know how to add music in the. Well, I mean, there's game music, obviously, but. Hold on, let me see. Any possible chance that people can hear that in the background? Why are swear words so bad anyway? Who made them bad? That's literally what I asked. Like, who on earth coined the term ass as a bad word? Now, that's something I grew up thinking was bad, but like realistically speaking, it's not. Vsauce made a good video on that. Yeah, barely? Okay. Yeah, fair. Yeah, I just have my playlist of Mario Kart music. I recently just got a few more remixes from World. So I think what's currently playing is the Ghost Valley remix. I gotta give World credit. The amount of freaking remixes and music they put in that is insane. I have to respect that, but it also makes me question what could they possibly... You know they gotta add DLC for this game eventually, because like, bro, you've made a very questionable Mario Kart game. It's good, it's playable, but design choices need to be questioned. All right, let me look into the... I'm building Parental Pipeline right now. Solid, Goomsalotl. Let me look at a few other comments here. Yeah, back to the swear word thing. It's like, who made bitch a bad word? Who had the authority to make these words bad? Okay. So let's get to Fan of Yoshi's big comment. Into two parts. A lot of anime exclusive characters, including, especially those who are exclusively tied to a single era, will be renamed to my liking. I would rather distance myself from anime exclusive characters originally into the original's name. Fair enough. Because I want to figure out how I'd rename them on my own terms. Japan names, however, as acceptable as an inspiration. They might even get repurposed in some ways, as an exception to that rule. In regards to the naming part, if the character's name is already typed in an episode's name, but even then it depends. Fair. Language is defined by those who use it. Yeah, that's also true. I generally try my best not to call actual people bad names unless I'm doing it as a joke. But it's hard. Like, obviously it's hard for me. Like, once you start getting used to language, it's very hard to control it, but at the same time, it's like, I personally am not offended by language. There are some words I will obviously never use. Racial slurs, for example. Like, there's a fine line between bad words and slurs, and I just think that we don't need to cross certain lines. So, yeah. You know what? I think slurs are definitely a place where we can halt that part of the conversation. I don't need to discuss that. Any case, would you rather marry Bowser or Eggman? Whoa. That's a question and a half. That's like, that's really similar to the would you rather room with Bowser or Wario. The difference, okay. A lot of what I said about Bowser in that other question kind of applies to here too. On one hand, yeah, Bowser's probably gonna, well, there's also the fact that he's a giant spiked turtle, so I'm going to have to question the relationship problems there. I'm pretty sure there's something wrong. As of, but like, on one hand, Bowser is a tyrant. Eggman is an egomaniac. This kind of is like more or less going without saying, but I think I have to go with Eggman because we're both humans. Okay, so let's see where we can go from here. Okay, so it's not very long going to the side now. So I need to do 1, 2, 3. Roughly 3 rows of color, plus a yellow, blue, and red at the end, and they're all 4 long. So let's get started on that, see how far we can go. So 3 rows, starting with yellow. 3, 4. So that's 1. Already, we're going to need to start clearing some stuff out and making more ground. That's going to be one pain in the ass thing. If I'm going to make these maps, I'm going to have to work with the environment to my liking. Right now I'm making Lunar Colony and I just finished the Earth. Solid. I imagine in the future if technology was so good that your map turned into a Mario Kart World spin-off. Bro, that would be like a dream come true. I never anticipate any, like, honestly, like, I can't anticipate the future. I go into YouTube thinking like, hey, I gotta work hard and eventually maybe I'll get somewhere. But of course I have those ideas where it's like, what if some of these ideas actually get like huge amounts of attention and it goes somewhere? It hasn't yet, but I think out of anything on my YouTube channel, this Mario Kart World Map idea is probably the one thing that's gone the farthest. It's the only thing so far that's gotten some consistent attention. Well, basically any Mario Kart related thing on my channel has gotten some consistent attention. Got some SNES Rainbow Road playing in the background, if anybody can hear it. Mario Circuit 1 SNES. Yeah, what track is this currently? Yeah, I'm working on SNES Mario Circuit 1. I'm starting with the SNES Mario circuits because A, it's a very simple place to start, it's a manageable place to start, and it also feeds into the idea of connecting them very well. The removal of AZ storyline is one in which I personally ranted about to many people, but I won't do it again here because I've said my piece. Fair enough. I personally, I would agree with you. I would rather stick to the game canon than the anime canon, because the game canon is where it all originates from. The anime wouldn't exist if not for the games. So I think that the games would have a higher priority in terms of canon. It's kind of like the Mario movie. It's like Donkey Kong was called Cranky Kong's son, but most games consider Donkey Kong Cranky Kong's grandson. So it's like, you really gotta... The canon situation is like all dependent on what I believe the original source is. And it's not always the case. I know there's still, for me, there's always the up in the air debate on whether or not Sky High Sunday is a tour track or an 8 Deluxe track. I've said my piece on that topic as well. Alright. Anyway. Did you consider creating a super flat? Yes, I did, but super flat would not work out very well for tracks that need to go underground because in the Switch version, I don't know if I can edit how deep a super flat world goes. I would have been able to do that if this was another version, because I know I've done it before, but I just could not figure out how to do it in this version, because I'm on my Switch. Honestly, though, if anybody could tutor me on this, that would probably be appreciated. The GBA one hurts my ears. That's fair. Honestly, the GBA versions of the SNES music weren't that great. It's 2026 anyway. Me, personally, SNES Rainbow Road has the best Rainbow Road soundtrack, especially in GBA. Well, fair. The one thing I'll say is that Lysandre's motivations became meaningless the moment they removed AZ and the whole storyline, and the moment he teared up because of the internal conflict. That moment was so good in the games. Yeah, honestly, like, Lysandre is arguably one of the most dangerous villains in Pokemon, not for why he wants to do what he's doing, but for what he's going to do. Now, granted, it is to a degree pretty selfish, but I don't know, man. Like, the way humanity is really can twist some people's perspectives. And especially when it comes to the art of greed. Like, I'm not going to say that my viewpoint on humanity is all that good when I start talking about corporations as a whole. I believe that greedy corporations are part of the reason why we are screwed as hell in the world right now. Would you rather live in Common Observatory or Peach's Castle? Okay, let's assume that we can breathe in outer space. The Common Observatory is small, and is really not built like a place to live, but it's housing Rosalina and all the Lumas, so I guess it does something right. On the other hand, Peach's Castle is a literal landmark of the Mushroom Kingdom, so it's really hard to deny that I would love to live there. But like I think the Comet Observatory is a little more modest, and I appreciate that. While Peach's Castle might be a little too grand for me personally. I would still think it would be awesome to live there, but it's kind of like, what would I do with all that space? Now, if there's any place I would like to live, it would be Luigi's Mansion. Or even the Gloomy Manor. I feel like the Gloomy Manor could be converted into a really good living spot. The Common Observatory I would suffocate, so Peach's Castle. Fair. What happened to the internet? I remember the good times, not the AI slop and brain rot. Bro, for real. I cannot express how much AI kind of annoys me, or even, I wouldn't even say scares me, because I'm in a position where it's like, there is no way AI is going to take over a large majority of physical jobs, because then if no one's paying, you know, humanity to do the jobs, how are they going to make any money off of it? You could travel the universe in the Comet Observatory. Yeah, that was also a really good thing about the Comet Observatory, is that the entire galaxies are your literal backyard. What have I've only done one. Oh crap, I have to move back over here. I got distracted. Yeah, the Comet Observatory comes with the benefit of literally every single galaxy is within driving range. Like, Rosalind is probably like, okay, Lumas, road trip, and they're going to the Beach Bowl galaxy. Not that the Lumas haven't already found their way there to begin with. So, that is a pretty big quirk to living in the Comet Observatory. The Mushroom Kingdom literally becomes a vacation spot that you can drive to whenever. Let's see, there are more comments. Okay. Oof. Everyone's active, I love it. Heard you heard of Mario Kart PC? Oh, have you heard of Mario Kart PC? I think I have, but I've never looked into it. I will not to refer to her name because like I said, I want to rename things. With the chess spin, could easily have been worked as a descendant of AZ. I think I know who you're talking about, but I will also rename unnamed. Well, the thing about Peach's Castle is that there is no furniture. Yeah, that's true. You'd have to do a lot of work with Peach's Castle. Which is really weird to think about, because it's like, what? Does Peach has her own room, and that's like about it. I mean, it depends on what we're looking at. The Paper Mario universe kind of does give Peach's Castle a little bit more to work with. Is it nighttime and I haven't used a potion yet? Do that. Whew. I might also need to go grab a drink soon. I'm like, you guys, like, again, this is the activity I look for or love in a stream. It's like my Mario Kart one all over again. Good stuff, guys. I appreciate you. All right. Anyway, yeah, like the original Paper Mario Castle, it had a kitchen, it had a library, it had Peach's room. It was still dry on furniture in a lot of the lobbies, but you got a few benches in there. You can't go wrong with that. The whole stasis thing. They could have tied her to her own AZ without necessarily overshadowing his, yeah. Just paintings, yeah, there are paintings. Well, I mean, the paintings also lead to other worlds. If we're going by Super Mario 64's logic, well, you got access to a lot of the Mushroom Kingdom just from Peach's Castle alone. Whether or not that was a result of Bowser's meddling is still something I don't know, but... Ooh, World Remix. Sorry. I would rather go through the paintings to new worlds with fantastical scenery and enemies than planets, personally. That's fair. Something I don't like in SNES is the lack of variety. It's not because of space, either. It's because of Nintendo is lazy. Ali! Hey, I'll be lurking for a bit. Good to see you, though. Good to know that you're here. Oh my goodness, 3 comments. This alternate universe is not Looney Tunes. There won't be any stupidity that breaks logic. That's fair. It's consistent like cartoon physics, or it's making every character brain dead to the point that they can't tell who the person in disguise is. Yeah. Dude, the amount of times Team Rocket got away with shit they shouldn't have is unreal. The first painting is literally a battlefield, though. Also valid. Well, I wouldn't mind visiting some... Well, Womp's Fortress might also not be the best example of a place to visit, but... I don't know. Like... Snowman Land wouldn't be a bad spot to visit if you're in the mood for something cool. Jolly Roger Bay might not be that bad of a visit. I would highly recommend not visiting Lethal Lava Land. Tiny Huge Island might be fun to explore. Just, you know, be careful on the Huge Island because you are likely to get eaten by a piranha plant 10 times the size as you. Or in Tiny Huge Island, Goomba Stomp you. You know? Tiny Huge Island pretty much is the natural equivalent to the Soviet Russia. In Soviet Russia, Goomba Stomp you! Except for the piranha plant bit, I'm pretty sure piranha plants eat you no matter what size they are. Although the tiny island would also be hilarious. Have you seen Chip? Pac-Man in the episode of Bad Case of the Chomps at least could tell the nurse that he at least looked like a ghost. That's fair. Assuming the whole castle is unlocked from the start, there would be some cool locals to visit. Yep. What happens in Mario Kart breaks down on anti-gravity sections? Like, what happens if Mario's Kart breaks down on an anti-gravity section like in Wii U Mario Circuit? I mean, if the anti-gravity is still functional, he should be fine. If the anti-gravity function is not functional, he'll likely take fall damage. That will equate to possibly about 3 slices of health to possible instant death, and it really depends on how many lives he has from there. Yeah, that's a good question, though. Like, I would imagine that the anti-gravity function keeps the cars on the ground. And that if the anti-gravity function stops functioning, they're gonna fall. And it's gonna hurt. Oof. Drink. And then that's it for the pop I had. I'll step out eventually to get a new one. All right, let's see. Even if you thought it was a part of the symptoms. All right. I kind of want to include the green-haired boy on a whim, but I reduced him to an incidental coin term by SpongeBob production material because I didn't have a good narrative use for him. Fair enough. They won, by the way. Hell yeah, the Devils won their game. Let's go. All right. Oh, shit. There's so much to clear away here. Okay. Oh, my computer went to sleep. Okay. Let's get back to some building. Here's a question. Would you rather live in Crown City, Salty Speedway, or Shy Guy Bazaar? Ooh. I'd probably go with Crown City. I'm a big city boy. If they fall, the Key2 would probably pick them up before they hit the ground. Facts. Personal win. Yeah, that's fair. I'm pretty sure when you say green-haired person, I'm guessing... I don't know if you mean Wally or someone else. What the hell is this? It's a strolling stew! I thought these things were supposed to be Goombas! They really have updated this texture pack. Holy shit, how long has it been since I've been on here? I'm gonna need to clear that out, aren't I? Okay, let me get back to this. So I've gone from yellow to green. So I need to do another yellow to green. So another one. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is some perfect ass music to be listening to while I'm playing this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then another full one. So we're gonna need another like 16 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I think that's the. I think we're correct on that. So I'll get to comments in just a second. All right, Stroll and Stew, let's go. How does Piranha drive in Mario Kart World when he doesn't have legs? I don't know. How does Goomba drive without arms? How does Fishbone drive without any of that? Mario Kart World's roster was so confusing. There were only a few characters I could justify. No, I'm specifically talking about the one from the X and Y anime who, again, I won't be mentioning. Okay. Background incidentals never stick on one specific name anyway, so fair enough. I told you first stream would catch your attention. Look at you, Mr. Popular. Yeah, look at me. I've got friends. Or fans. I like friends better. I'm very quick to name people friends as long as everyone's okay with that. If I engage conversation with you enough, then you're probably a friend. Let's see. This goes up to red. And then this will be the edge of... As far as I'm concerned, this is the edge of Mario Circuit 1. Yes, it is. It's going to be going up a lot. But for now, let's get the red part of the wall. All right, so up to here. So that means all of this needs to be cleared out as well. All right, back to some destruction while I potentially, and by potentially I mean 100% just start reading comments after this. Let's see how far... Yay, I'm a friend. Why does Sidestepper not hold his steering wheel? Dude, Sidestepper was the one that I had to question the most. They couldn't even be bothered to make it modeled so that it actually looks like it's driving a freaking car. Like, even the dolphin has its fins on the steering wheel, I think. Why does dolphin float? Why is Pokey just sitting there? Pokey has warmed up to me though. I love your content. You are honestly the most underrated YouTuber I've found in the past year. Well, I appreciate that because I want to do YouTube because I feel like this is something I can do. I like to make videos on gaming. I like to game. I think that's another big one. But I also have to tell myself, you can't just get into this because you like playing games and you want to find an excuse to play video games for a living. No. I have to do this, and I have to make it interesting, and I have to make it engaging for other people so that they want to tune in and watch. Now, and I believe that that's where my daily content kind of might fall short, because it does feel like I'm just playing a game, and it doesn't feel like I'm really doing much otherwise. But these streams giving me the opportunity to actually engage in conversation with people directly and in real time, I think is a lot more fulfilling, and it gets other people engaged a lot better. Alright. They should have included either Mario Circuit 4 or a SNES Battle Course in Mario Kart World. Bro, the amount of people that have actually felt bad for Mario Circuit 4 getting literally ripped off again, it warms my heart because I'm still a Mario Circuit fan. Keep in mind, I am the guy who defended Mario Circuit 3 in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. When, realistically speaking, it should have been something a little more unique, like maybe Vanilla Lake. But I also don't believe anybody would have been very receptive to seeing a tiny-ass Vanilla Lake in place of anything else. Unless they were going to make that shit 5 laps, I don't think anybody would want a Vanilla Lake track in 8 Deluxe. And I think that's the problem with SNES tracks, in that in modern day, they are all very short. Like, Bowser Castle 3 even just barely qualifies for what it is, but I think they did scale it up a little bit. And again, the visuals and the extra details really made up for its length. Oh, and remember the OC in my user page. He is his own character, named him Yoshi. Fair enough. They probably have Tesla autopilot. Shit. What if Tesla doesn't exist? That would be nice. I can confirm he's a good YouTuber. Aw, thank you, Ali. I agree. Aw, thank you, Draconic James. We haven't seen Mario Circuit 4 in 25 goddamn years. Bro, for real. Look, okay. I miss when Nintendo really did prioritize the tracks that had not come back yet. keep in mind that from Mario Kart base Mario Kart 8 to, or from Mario Kart DS to the base Mario Kart 8, every single track that was appearing as a retro track had not reappeared before, barring the Super Mario Kart tracks and Super Circuit. I do not count that. But now with Mario Kart World, only, if I'm correct, only 3, maybe 2 tracks made their overall debut as proper retro courses, and those are N64 Wario Stadium and Toad's Factory. One of which was really long awaited. No, it was not Wario Stadium, even though that was the final N64 track to return. Also, how did Mario Kart 64 finish up all of its tracks before any other game even got close? Barring Tour, because they literally just shoved every single Tour track into the booster course pass. Except for one. So they robbed Tour of that honor as well. Also, why are some of the best Double Dash tracks getting shafted? You know what? There are still so many questions I have for Nintendo's handling of bringing back retro courses. First off, what the hell did you do to Sky Garden and Tour? Like, you were insulting me. What did you do to half of the GBA tracks in Tour? Like, bro, you're insulting me to a degree. Half of them were, like, pretty damn good. Like, Boo Lake was amazing. Bowser Castle 4 was amazing. But then you got mid ones, like Sunset Wilds was okay. Cheap Cheap Island was okay. And then you got Lakeside Park and Sky Garden, which just got, like, butchered. Also, like, why couldn't you just redo the background for Bowser Castle 3? Like, it's a better background. Don't just reuse the freaking Bowser Castle 1. It's not correct! Comment time. They did my favorite Mario Circuit track dirty. Yeah. If you're talking about Mario Circuit 4, yeah. Sorry, a lot of... Oof, okay, a lot of comments to address, so... I do also want to talk about some ideas I had for the Mario Kart map to look forward to, because I came up with some good ones. But first, comments. My own versions of Team Rocket are loosely based on Scratch and Grounder and Coconuts from Sonic, but with the difference that they're not robots and they have their own motivations and backstory. And also, I will not be extending their presence/relevance across multiple regions. Fair. Smudgers T40. Does anyone else like the aesthetic of the cartoony SNES blocks entwined with the realistic environments Mario Kart 8, Cheeseland, Donut Plains, etc.? It's okay. Again, when it comes to how they handled retro courses, I'm more of a fan of how they did it with Mario Kart Wii and Mario Kart 7, as opposed to how... Now, granted, Mario Kart 8 was okay. It's not terrible. But the more you take away from the original vibes, the less it feels like you brought back the track and more like you just completely redesigned it and surrounded it in a new light a little too much. But, like, I'm kind of glad that they at least did retain the colored block walls. So, there is that. Looking at you, original Team Rocket. Yeah. I still hate Parental Pipeline wasn't brought back at all. Facts. Funky was taken out of World. Bro, after the amount of, after all the people who wanted him back, they brought him back for 2 games and then were like, nah, we're gonna just dip him again. Same with Diddy Kong. I am still so vastly confused as to how they went about Mario Kart World's roster. Are you trying to tell me that you guys laughed so hard at the idea of a cow being on a motorcycle that you forewent the entire popular cast in exchange for a bunch of random mooks? Because, haha, cow on bike. Guess what? Yoshi's an animal and he's been riding in a car for this entire time too. Toad's a mushroom. Bowser's a turtle. Donkey Kong's a monkey. And you're trying to tell me the cow is what made you guys laugh to the point where you had to include an entire species of characters just to satisfy a joke? I'm not sure what's worse. Mario Kart roster's inspiration or Color Splash's inspiration? Because remember, the entire reason Paper Mario Color Splash exists It's because someone said their kid liked finger painting. I'm getting a headache with all this talking, holy shit. But that's how it goes, baby. They should make arcade GP for actual consoles. Yeah, they really should. I mean, Namco's pretty buddy-buddy with Nintendo. Like, why not port the arcade titles into an actual game? Bring back all the arcade title tracks into one game, give people a reason and a meaning to explore them, and then add them to the canon. Like, come on. It's kind of the main reason why I was kind of hesitant to include them in my world map, but a lot of people are asking for it, so comply I shall. And how did World not bring back a single GBA track? I can understand them not bringing back any Mario Kart 8 tracks since we had them for so long, but why not GBA? For real though, and like, even further, GBA tracks aren't hard to recreate, they're flat. Also, like, my second question is, why didn't they merge the Koopa Beach tracks like they did the Mario circuits? How did you butcher such a good idea that fast? I mean, they already butchered it by not including Mario Circuit 4, but like Koopa Beach 1 was literally right beside Koopa Beach 2. Also, why is it Here's a better question, actually. How and why did you rename Koopa Beach 2 to Koopa Troopa Beach, but then keep Koopa Beach 1's name for the tribute track? Nintendo, what the fuck is your consistency? You are giving like people like me with massive level, like with enough autism for this to be a problem, a freaking mental stroke. When I see that level of inconsistency, it pisses me off, and it's beyond my control. That's why I never refer to Koopa Beach 2 as Koopa Troopa Beach, regardless of its name, because it's not Koopa Beach, it's not Koopa Troopa Beach, it's not Koopa Troopa Beach 2, it's Koopa Beach 2. Like, you have created an inconsistency with your fellow Koopa Beach 1. Get it together, Nintendo. Okay. Lakeside Park and Yoshi Desert deserve a proper remake. Amen. Because apparently no one uses GBA anymore. Screw that. GBA Super Circuit is the most underrated Mario Kart game in the entire franchise. Change my mind. People don't like it because it's got crappy controls that were brought over from Super Mario Kart, which I can understand. But Super Mario Kart gets a strong pass because it's the first game in the series and first game syndrome. Mario Kart 64 is just legendary and iconic for having its chaotic multiplayer and some pretty solid tracks to boot. Double Dash has got the same idea where it's literally like a GameCube classic. And then DS is where people actually started playing the Mario Kart franchise seriously because everybody and their grandmother owned a DS. And Mario Kart Wii is Mario Kart Wii. I don't think I need to say anything about that. And technically speaking, I could wrap up the entirety of Mario Kart Wii with just the words Coconut Mall. And the Koopalings. Insert Koopaling detractor here. Bro, Koopaling fan. Like, I'm so pissed off. They better have some strong ass DLC, or Mario Kart World's about to get some hate thrown at it very fast. Imagine getting Woohoo Loop as a DLC in Mario Kart World. That's the thing. That would actually work out. Imagine just the island itself off the coast of a new world map. Getting a headache, huh? You'll get used to it. Oh yeah. That's why I'm not going to stop, but I'm going to get a drink soon. I'll probably just like take a slight pause. Also got a Moo Moo Farm playing. Bro, here's another question for anybody else who wants to know or needs to answer something. How on earth did we get Moo Moo Meadows back again for World and they didn't decide to do Moo Moo Farm instead? Seriously. You already just like play favorites with the N64 with how fast you brought all those tracks back. Just put Moo Moo Farm in. We didn't need Moo Moo Meadows again. And to be frankly honest, we really didn't need Choco Mountain again either, though the remix is freaking baller. Alright. I don't mind the critters like Swoop or even Spike. I even like Charge and Chuck. I think they should have cut out half the original but they should not have cut out half the original roster. Yeah.
So there were a few characters I can justify. Anybody who was playable beforehand, like Monty Mole, Hammer Bro, Charge and Chuck, and Nabbit, they get a pass. Pianta gets a pass because, well, he's also had a playable appearance before in the Mario baseball games. And on top of that, dude has arms and legs and can have motor skills. Literally can drive a car. But then you get characters like Swoop, Fishbone, Cheep Cheep, Sidestepper, most of which who, A, don't drive cars, B, aren't even modeled to drive cars. Also, Stingby, this bee that's been, like, introduced in what? Like, 3 World Land? Same with Parabitty Buddy. Also, why are the Parabitty Buddies getting more attention than the Bitty Buddies? Alright. And another thing, I'm convinced Nintendo only brought Moo Moo Meadows because of Cow as a playable character, when we already had it for 10 years. Again, they clearly forgot that Moo Moo Farm existed. Why is it named Cow, by the way? Why not Moo Moo Farm? Or why not name it Moo Moo? I love how we've just gotten to a point where we're ranting about everything Mario Kart related. It's a good thing to do while we're chipping away at this incredibly boring stream when you really think about it. I have done more destruction of natural property than I have actual building. I'm devastated that Daisy Cruiser did not appear as a moving track in World. Facts. I will admit that the GameCube choices weren't that bad. Dino Dino Jungle maybe didn't need to come back because of it being in Tour and 7, but it makes up for it by the fact that it literally just became one of the greatest upgrades for a track. Obviously losing to Bowser Castle 3, but like, bro, it's now actually a dinosaur-themed jungle. Congrats, Nintendo, you finally did it after 3 attempts. Now, granted, the OG Dino Dino Jungle was fine, but now it's an actual dinosaur jungle. Peach Beach also was fine because they did a huge number on it, giving it an additional stuff. But it does suck that none of the routes in Versus ever lead to the normal version. So, kind of sucks. They kind of put more emphasis on the new part of the track than they did on the actual familiar part of the track. I don't like the cow. Not up for the inclusion myself. But the fact that people unironically glaze over her, holy shit, yeah. And if they really insisted on Cow, why not bring back Moo Moo Farm? Exactly! When it hasn't been remade in 21 years, and in DS it still sucked. Bring back Moo Moo Farm. That's the one thing I want to say about Mario Kart DS, is that's the only unfortunate thing about using that game as the first game to bring back tracks, in that you've got a weaker system that's trying to play stronger tracks. The N64 kind of passed on the grounds that the DS has like roughly the same graphical capacity as an N64, in terms of visuals at least. But the GameCube tracks really got done dirty. Baby Park should not have been in DS, let alone in the banana cup of Mario Kart DS. Luigi Circuit was perfectly fine. Mushroom Bridge arguably was okay. Yoshi Circuit wasn't that bad. I mean, what else could they have possibly brought back from GameCube in Mario Kart DS? Like, every single track in that... Like, I mean, I guess they could have done Dry Desert instead. Although I don't think they would have been able to render the tornado in that game. Granted, they didn't bring back the tornado in a game that actually could have used it. But, whatever. I mean, I guess the only other one I can think of would maybe be Waluigi Stadium, because, well, we're not putting Mario Circuit in because that would just be 3 circuits in from one game. And I feel like it's already a bit of a problem that they did both Luigi Circuit GBA, Luigi Circuit GameCube, Peach Circuit GBA, and Yoshi Circuit GameCube. Like, I think that might be one too many circuits overall. Especially considering we also have Mario Circuit 1 in there. SNES tracks were fine. GBA tracks were fine. Could have used a little bit better variety, and the N64 tracks were fine. I love Cheep Cheep Island's music. Facts. Good song. My buddy at work loves that one as well. I love Sherbet Land's music. GameCube or 64? Because both are bangers, but GameCube's is just fucking beautiful. Are you happy for Wonder's edition of the Koopalings? Yes, I am. And if they actually get a full-on game part with actual individual levels, then I would probably bite on the Wonder Switch 2 edition. If it's nothing more than just little cameos and the story is nothing really exciting, well, then back to the drawing board and back to waiting. But I'm kind of, like, anticipating that it might actually be something. But we'll see. That's what I'm saying. Bring back Moo Moo Farm. One of my former online mutuals was a Koopaling detractor. I once tried to give a logical defense of the Koopalings, but my arguments kept getting fell aside and twisted to the point where I didn't even know anymore. Biddy Buddy? What's that? Isn't it? Am I saying it wrong? But it's the Parabuddies without the wings. It's the land versions. It's like the Goomba equivalent. It's Goomba adjacent. Biddy Buddy is so popular because it's the meta cart in Mario Kart 8. Yeah, there's that. Did I say Buggy or Buddy? Holy crap, I can't tell. Like, too confusing. Why isn't Rainbow Road in free roam? It's the only track I actually want to explore. Fact again! I understand treating Rainbow Road as a very special track, but bruh. You made a spectacle and you won't let anybody explore it without glitches? Give me a break, guys. This Mario Kart World feels like a product of their own pride as opposed to making something fans would actually want to play. Now, I'm not saying we don't enjoy it, but it feels like too much of Nintendo's ego went into Mario Kart World and too much thought process of they'll buy it regardless because of how old Mario Kart 8 is. That's what I feel like. Mario Kart World does not feel like a product of fan, or like a product of we want fans to enjoy this game. It feels like, look at the giant, massive open world we made. You're gonna like it, right? And it's just Nintendo bragging about how good their job was. That's just my personal hot take, though. Whatever anybody else thinks is perfectly fine. And I'm very vocal about my opinions. I don't have a problem voicing what I think about things. Bring back Queen Bee. You know what? Honestly, having the roster that we have now, I would gladly take a random pick like Queen Bee back. The fact that she wasn't in Tour was kind of surprising. They brought back the Bumblebee multiple times. That was literally her car. And then you don't bring back the Fat Bee who drives it? Bruh, prime heavyweight material. Keep in mind, our only other female character heavyweights, as far as I'm concerned, are Rosalina and Pauline. Yes, Smudgers, I literally screamed Koopalings and went mental bonanza live when they showed the Koopalings in the Direct. Fair enough. Well, not live stream, but live reaction moment. You know those memes. It might be a hot take, but I like the OG Peach Beach way better than the world version. Honestly, I'm kind of in the same boat. I feel like with the so much like attention to the new spot, it makes the old original spot just so unrecognizable. It's like there's no no one's gonna pay attention to the old spot because like everyone's like, oh, look at this whole new bit, and like the new bit's not even like that interesting. It's not even on the beach. Kind of just defeated the purpose of the beach. Speak of the Moo Moo, and it shall appear. I'm talking about the music. Yup. We need a Mario Kart Maker, where we can make our own tracks in any game style. Facts. Oh, dude. Ugh. If there was any way, like, my dream is literally to have a Mario Kart game with every single Mario Kart track, so that I can fulfill my dream of using my Miis to race in every Mario Kart track, because I assign Mario Kart tracks to my Miis, who are in turn based on my own OCs. Speaking of which, where are my Miis? Mario Kart World cutting the Miis was the most personal cut I have ever seen. Like, that hurt me on a personal level, even more so than the fact that you couldn't remove the helmets in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Like, it's not a cut that I can say is a huge downplay for a lot of people, because they're not Mario characters, so I can understand why a lot of people would be like, it's fine. But for me personally, that hurts. I can't race as me anymore. I can't put myself in the Mario Kart race. I can't put myself in a time trial on my favorite tracks. It hurts. It personally hurts. It's understandable, but I do not agree with it. Okay, I agree. Excitebike 64 already kind of did it. Oh, interesting. If we get Mario Kart Maker, what 4 or 5 games would we get / you want? I'm sorry if I'm taking these comments slowly, but I want to make sure I'm addressing everything. If we were to take... Okay, I think we should get a Super Mario Kart / Super Circuit style so that we can have like flat tracks, which I think would still be charming, and people could probably make them pretty easily. I think a double dash mode would be awesome. So, like, a mode where 2 drivers are probably the focus. I definitely think Mario Kart Wii should be an option because visually speaking, it's probably one of the more impressive of the classic games. So that's 3. I would agree to a Mario Kart 8 or Mario Kart 7 style because gliding and anti-gravity would be cool. Maybe either work with the primary one of Mario Kart 8 or work with both of them separately because one of them is going to have anti-gravity in it. And, I mean, like, again, I'm playing Minecraft because I want a world map of Mario Kart tracks. Obviously, Mario Kart World would be great for the idea of putting all those tracks into one map. That being said, I can imagine that the idea would be very hard to do. So many retro tracks from DS need another remake. Mushroom Bridge, Frappe Snowland, Moo Moo Farm, hell, even Banshee Boardwalk could use another shot. Yeah, honestly, like, they were okay in DS, but given that most of them have not come back since, like, okay, Choco Mountain and Frappe Snowland got Tour. And I will admit, Frappe Snowland and Tour ain't bad. But yeah, Banshee Boardwalk and Moo Moo Farm are well overdue for another reappearance. Sorry, dude, you're in my way. I think I'm actually good to start going upward now. Let's see. Most of the in fact, I think every single GBA and SNES track came back from DS into Tour at the very least, which, I mean, I guess kind of counts. It really depends. And then the only GCN tracks that didn't come back from DS were, I think it was just Luigi Circuit, which I think also could use another return. I think they need to stop focusing solely on the so-called popular tracks, and they need to go back to just, you know, treating the entire franchise as a group of tracks that everyone wants to see. Every track is going to have its favorites. Like, heck, I'm a Toad's Turnpike supporter. That's like a pretty out there one to enjoy. SNES, N64, GBA, Double Dash, and 8. Yeah, fair. Sorry, I was joking with the Biddy Buddy comment. No one knowing about it. Oh, fair. And now that glitch is patched out, so I can't even do it. Screw it. That's dumb. Mario 3D Land, underrated. Agreed. That was such a good game. Additionally, I said live in reference to the fact that my reaction happened while the stream was ongoing, but yes, I watched it live. My favorite series is Mario Maker. My second favorite is Mario Kart. If we got Mario Kart Maker, I would die. Dude, I would too. That would be awesome. What's your favorite OC you made? Okay, so here's the thing. When I say OCs, I'm actually more or less saying, like, they're not fan characters or anything. No, these are characters that I created. So for me to say them, it would require a little bit of description on who they are. I think if I were to boil it down, I have 7 out of my 12 main heroes, which, again, once I eventually stream Miitopia, you will get a full introduction to my characters. But out of my 12 main heroes, I have 7 characters that are, quote-unquote, my group, my friend group, my character's friend group. My main OC is based on myself. His name is the same. He's got a lot of similar qualities to me, but I like to say he's a different person because, you know, first off, I'm not a narcissist. And second of all, it's a fictional representation. Uh, if you want to see what my OC looks like, well, he's kind of on all my thumbnails. He's kind of also my channel representation. But, okay, back to the point. The seven characters I use are my personal OC, my personal character. I have a character named Stacy, who is a well-mannered, polite, sophisticated character. She's like the smarty pants, the brainiac. On the other hand, she's also like the most polite and well-behaved, so that puts her at odds with a lot of other characters who have a bit more of a snarky attitude towards them and like to just goof around. I have my character Alan, but his idea was based on Tails from Sonic, and that Tails is his middle name, and that's the name he goes by. It's a long story on that one. But Alan is his first name. I just go by his middle name. It's more fun that way. I have a character, Tails is also like the lovable giant. He's like a really helpful and supportive person. So, and he's my character, he's Matt's best friend, my character. There's Stephanie, who is my character Stacy's twin sister, and the polar opposite to Stacy. She's an athletic tomboy. And she's like much more like hardcore, sarcastic, snarky, blunt. And it offers a lot of hilariously clashing moments with her sister when they have polar opposite viewpoints on how to approach a situation. Whereas Stacy would be like, let's talk about this peacefully. Stephanie's probably already getting ready to kick someone's ass. There's my character Kayla, who is the twins' younger sister. She starts out as a very shy and introverted character, but I've since grown her up into a more energetic character who's still introverted, but is very social with her best friends. Sorry this one's taking so long. I'll get back to comments in a second. In fact, soon I'm going to get a drink because my throat is dry. My character Chance is a lovable goofball. He's like the comedic relief of my characters, but he's also grown into like the most innocent and lovable character. Like, he's pure. He is one of the most pure characters I've come up with, and there's just no way to corrupt him in any sense. And finally, there would be my character Katie, who is like the flirt. She is the confident, bold flirt. She mixes in dancing with in her combat fighting style, and she'll hit on guys and girls. She's bisexual, but most importantly, she toys with everybody. She is like the most bold and confident character. Never felt shy in her life, but she has a backstory to her too. Okay. Well, it was nice talking to you, but I gotta get going. Okay, fan of Yoshi, see you later. Glad you were able to tune in. Did what they do with Dino Jungle somehow become with some of the more boring retro tracks? Yeah, do what they do with that. Exactly. I think it would most likely be the themes that they would pick would be Super Mario Kart for legacy reasons, N64 for charming looks, DS for nostalgia, Wii for visuals, and Mario Kart 8 for gliders and anti-gravity. That's a valid point, and I would agree to that as well. My main OC is Cool Monkey, if you can't tell. Fair. Oh, I think I'm finally at the bottom of the comments. Why hasn't Nintendo made a Mario Kart game with Kirby? Why a penguin and not Kirby? Good question. I think Nintendo is really leaning into the Mario Kart name, and that's why the crossover characters were killed. Yeah, I think that the crossover idea from 8 was definitely more just for fun as opposed to taking it seriously. Because I think the unfortunate thing is, I doubt we will see any of those crossover tracks reappear in a serious matter. I don't want to say it's impossible, but given the fact that out of all of Mario Kart 8's tracks, the only 2 that haven't come back yet are the Woohoo tracks, I think that's a sad indicator. Okay, guys. Give me a sec. I need to go and grab another drink, so I will be right back. And yet there's also a driving crab. Yeah. Give me a quick second. I'll be right back. All right, let's get the show back on the road. Okay. So, are you going to talk about the Cool Monkey Official? Are you going to talk about those Mario Kart Idea World Map? Yes. I did say that briefly. So, I see there are a few retracted messages. I guess autocorrect was going ballistic. Autocorrect is good when it does the underlying thing to let you know, but it doesn't change it without you doing it yourself. Fair. I really hope that if they make Mario Kart World DLC, they'll let us make our own custom knockout tour rallies. Yes. Okay, now let's get back to the ideas I was talking about. So, a lot of it revolves around the battle maps. So, as I was relocating and spacing out Bowser's Castles area, I decided that the Bowser's Castles are going to be kind of like circled. And there's going to be an interior section and an exterior section. The exterior section of the castle area will largely be the starting lines to a grand majority of the Bowser's Castles, while the interior is obviously the interior. On the exterior part, sorry cat, I need you to move, I'm going to put Big Donut in the middle of most of the Bowser's Castles so that it can act as a roundabout way to get to most of them. Which means that if we were to ever do a Grand Prix series of trying to figure out how the Grand Prix would go, Big Donut will be a big part of that. GBA Battle Course 2, I believe, is also going to be located in the Bowser Castle section because it's literally a Bowser's Castle battle track. So a lot of that is all set in stone. Another person has commented a few times, and let me just get this post up. Whoops. Their username is Jared Demock. They have come up with a long list of battle tracks that I still need to include. And they've also come up with a few really good ideas that I will be putting into action. So battle stages like Lunar Colony, the Nintendo system battle tracks, they will be put in the Rainbow Road section because they are, first off, located in outer space, one of them literally being on the moon. And the console tracks are just special, and I feel like they should go up there. The other one that I didn't bring up, and I don't even think they brought up, was Galaxy Coliseum from Mario Kart Wii. A battle track that is naturally exclusive and unplayable now because they were a part of the online tournaments. We gotta bring that back, which will also be placed in the Rainbow Road section because A, it's literally also based heavily off of the Mario Galaxy idea, and B, it's in space. What else needs to be said? A lot of other tracks or battle courses are in a very easy position to work with. I'm putting all the Wario and Waluigi stadiums together, and in their center will be Funky Stadium. Obviously, Delfino Pier has to be located near Delfino Square. But that's another area I really need to rework with because there's so many tracks that need to be closer to the water. Battle course, like the SNES battle courses are obvious. Battle course 4 near the Mario circuits, battle course 1 near Donut Plains, etc., etc. If you can tell where the background is located, is based off of, you can tell where it's going to go. I'm thinking, oh yeah, Jared also had mentioned the idea of Urchin Underpass needs to be in the third part, or the guest character section, which also pretty obvious. And Chain Chomp Wheel will go into the entertainment section. One thing I do have to figure out is where do I want to put the block-based battle courses, like Block Plaza, Block City, Block Fort. Do I want to put those and make a completely new subsection for them? Or do I want to maybe space them out randomly? Because a new section for them does not feel like it's going to amount to much, because battle courses are going to serve the additional purpose of, you know, being connecting points for Grand Prix routes, or even knockout rallies, depending on how far we take this idea, which I think is going to be very far, because I'm going to capitalize on this idea. If a lot of people are interested, this is what we got to work with. I think I'm also going to start revamping some of the canyon or mountainous area and split it up into a food-themed area and then the mountain area, because we have at the very least 3, maybe 2 food-themed battle courses to work with in Sweet Sweet Kingdom and Tart Top. Oh, and Cookie Land. So yeah, 3. So we might need to work with that. All right, back to comments. I thought they could add a custom battle stadiums. You place a couple of nodes that create shapes that you can battle on. Yeah. I'm back. Refreshed YouTube. Audio is now working. Welcome back, Black Lion. Do any of the tracks on your map have drastic aesthetic changes like Chocolate Mountain or Dino Dino Jungle? I haven't really thought of that just yet. I think what might disappoint people is that a lot of my tracks, certain versions might be reverted. Particularly Ribbon Road. But my idea for Ribbon Road is that I want being within the Peach section, I want it to be within an actual castle like arch area. So like it'll be open, the arches will be surrounding the track and you'll be able to see inside of it. But it won't be the kids' playroom. I'm sorry. It's just I prefer the original Ribbon Road, and if there was any middle ground I would do, I would take the kids' playroom, but I would not be doing the original the remake's layout. I would be sticking with the OG's layout because I just prefer it. Otherwise, I mean, I could explore with the idea of revamping certain drastic layouts. The layouts themselves might be more faithful to their originals, but I might add some ideas. Like this Mario Kart map would be a great idea for that. Who knows? Like, we could add anti-gravity sections to certain tracks. We could add gliding ramps where necessary, underwater sections. One idea I thought of was maybe I could make Block 4 from N64 largely submerged in underwater, so that only the top portions are above land. Or maybe it could be a shifting water level thing, like almost kind of like how Wet Dry World works in Mario 64. There are some ideas, but that idea came from seeing an image online of Block 4, but it was like almost completely underwater, and I was like, that's so cool. So, I don't know. Again, there are a lot of people who seem to be interested in this idea that I've made, and honestly, I'd be open to hear ideas from other people. I don't mind making this a group collaborative idea. Definitely speaking though, if people do contribute and they give me ideas that I really like, you will get a shout out. Pig buddy, I'm gonna need you to move. All right. 8 walked so that 8 Deluxe can run. Fact of the day. Like, honestly, 8 was great, but 8 Deluxe just, woo! The Booster Course Pass really did everything it needed to make 8 Deluxe one of the best Mario Kart games ever. That said, I'm also pretty convinced that the Booster Course Pass exists because of how they did not, Mario Kart World was kind of like delayed. Like, World was supposed to be for the Switch, but they couldn't get the 24-hour racer idea working, so they moved it to the Switch too, and I think that's why the Booster Course Pass exists. And if that were the case, that would be 100% more supporting theory as to why I believe Sky High Sunday and Squeaky Clean Sprint are tour tracks. Because, well, they were added. If the Booster Course Pass wasn't going to exist, then they would have been tour tracks to begin with. Sorry, I'm very hung up on that. Anyway, moving on. You could modify the aesthetic of the block stadiums, not by too much, to add them to other areas. That is true. That is what I did with the idea for Double Deck, where it's now set inside a cavern that is used as a connecting point. You're right. I could do that. I guess I would have to. I think what we would have to do is we should find an area that needs battle tracks the most, and then we could try to revamp some battle courses. Block City might be an easy one. Well, actually, I think Block City might just be like a fun little spot in like maybe the city area or the entertainment area. But no, sorry, Block Plaza, the one from Wii. Block City? I feel like it would be ripping off its theme to put it elsewhere, but we could put it elsewhere. That's a good idea. I like that. I'm personally really interested in the aspect of making Grand Prix Cups and especially Knockout Tour Cups. Well then, we'll put that on the list of ideas. The next big idea, adding all 3D Mario levels to a big map. Troll face, bro. I tried to make, sorry, I got a cookie with me. I tried to make Wet Dry World on the 3DS version of Minecraft. I didn't get very far. But that's also because I was playing on the 3DS. I'm really glad that people are putting up with this relatively... You know what? No, I'm giving myself too little credit for that. You guys are enjoying it as much as I am, and that's what's important. And realistically, that's also what's going to keep this... that's what's going to keep this idea going. So, thank you. Let's keep it up, guys. I can't play Wii battle courses because I have custom track Grand Prix, and the battle courses get replaced with the track you last played. Huh. I remember when I had that. But my Wii stopped working, like the disc reader stopped working, and I initially thought it was the homebrew that caused it, so I deleted it all. And then I realized that that probably wasn't the case, and when I got my Wii fixed, I just haven't really bothered to go back and try and reinstall it. But those were the days. Also, as far as I'm concerned, I think they've replaced too many of the tracks, so... If I was to get any sort of Wii Mario Kart Wii hack, I would want to get Mario Kart Rewind, which has like all the Mario Kart tracks in it, like literally my dream. But again, for me right now, I just have not had the time, energy, or motivation to pursue some of that. Right now, I really just want to work with some of these ideas that I have going on right now. I think I just have to go, I still got a long way to go. Now, all of that is on top of the fact that I don't even know how much farther north I have to go. One idea I would absolutely love is connecting every Paper Mario map together since they are references in each game. That's facts. Are you going to add Mario Kart 8's battle courses? Another troll face. Technically speaking, I already did! On the topic of Paper Mario, though, I did start making Thousand Year Doors map on the Wii U. I sadly can't stream that because it's the Wii U, and my Wii U apparently hates my Elgato. That being said, there is something I would like to test out with that. It might be the settings. But I made the entirety of Rogueport and Riverside Station in Minecraft, as well as Rogueport Underground. I've made the entirety of Petal Meadows and Petalburg and Schwunk Fortress, as well as kind of started the end, like the opening to Hooktail Castle. And I've made a bit of Poshley Heights as well. That's another idea that just kind of got buried. But it was fun, and Rogueport was amazing. Like, honestly, it all turned out pretty good. No, I did not make the Pit of 100 Trials. Oof. All right. Can we suggest more than one Chow to the Chow Community Garden? Well, I'm still hoping that other people will engage in that. If I really do fail to get any more, I might allow certain people who are definitely devoted to offer up a second Chow. But for the time being, I want to see if I can get some other people involved as well. So far, there are 5 Chow in the garden. That's a little spoiler. Wait, are there 5? We've got Crabapple. We've got our unnamed friend who will have a name by well, not episode 4, but by episode 5. We have Benry. That's 3. And then we've got a new one that's being added in the next episode, so I think we do have 4. I would feel so bad if I'm missing somebody, but I don't think I am. I think we have 3. Well, we have 4 now. But yeah, I would like to get some more engagement in that. Which reminds me, check out those videos. There's a Google Doc in the description if anybody wants to contribute to that. I know it's not Mario Kart, but trust me, I love me my Chow Garden as well. They removed a track called Heart of China and replaced it with Shite. What? It would be easy to fit Deckelberg, Prism Island, and Rogueport to the same map, but City 4 and Origami King would be difficult. And Super Paper Mario is in a completely different dimension. Yep, there's that. Super Paper Mario maps actually feel like they would be really easy to make in Minecraft, though, because they're kind of all just giant rectangular structures. Hey, I'd say that's pretty possible. It just would take a lot of time still. We need a track that is almost entirely a gliding section, except for the finish line. Yeah. As much hate as modern Paper Mario gets, it's hard. In my opinion, it's hard to hate the music. Facts, dude. I almost was I had some very strong opinions about modern Paper Mario. I still consider Sticker Star to be the worst game in the franchise. But holy crap, the music is phenomenal. Origami King especially. Origami King's boss battle music was peak. I gotta say though, like the Thousand Year Door remake has specifically amazing music that I think is like just my bread and butter right now. But there is no doubt about it that Origami King's boss battle music was so amazing. It still is. I've got some metal covers of the boss battle themes and they are like phenomenal. What's this about Chow? Oh yeah, I have a community Chow garden. I love Chow from Sonic. They have been my addiction point for 75% of 2025. I got the Chow World Extended mod in March of last year. And I think for a solid like 5 or 6 or the entire year, I did not put that game down. Hell, after 100%ing the GameCube version of Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, after years of having it, I proceeded to 100% the mod in a few months. That's how devoted I was to that game because of that mod. But yes, I have a community Chow garden where I'm letting viewers create their own Chow ideas for me to make in a community garden that I will be using to do as much of the game as I really want. And that is as much of the game as I can to maximize how much time gets spent in the Chow garden. Because again, I would like to reiterate, that was a 2025 addiction. My friend Ali can attest to that. If they are still here to hear that. How is the track looking so far? I completely forgot that's what we're doing. So, because of how much I have to fill in, we have the bottom part of the wall and that's it. Oh boy, yeah, when you're working with a map like this, a lot of other stuff needs to be put into work. You kind of look like a paratrooper. Why do you look like a paratrooper? You're not, but you kind of look like one. Yellow head, red body, white... Bro, are you absolutely sure you're a parrot? Do you like the River Twigs Bed soundtrack? I think it sounds creepy and cool. Could you use the fill command? Is that a thing? How would I do that? Oh, about the River Twig, I thought that was so creepy and cool though. Like, I remember originally reading that like the song itself had like unintelligible groaning and mumbling that was almost supposed to be like something in like some sound clips in reverse. I could not confirm that though. Poggers99, hello everyone. Hello, welcome to the stream. We're attempting to make a Mario Kart track, and by we I mean me, but I'm talking with everybody, and that's the fun part. Let's go back to actually making some of the walls now. Either the left, up, or D button. I'm not sure if there are commands on the Switch or Wii U versions of Minecraft. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. That's emotes. Okay. Slash fill. Cheats aren't enabled in this world. Hey, that might actually, we might actually be onto something though. Oh, you're playing on the Switch version, yes. You can use them, but typing is annoying. Do you have to enable cheats? Typing commands on Switch sucks, yeah. I guess I would. That probably was the manual, wasn't it? Oh no, that's achievements. Screw that. Ooh. What did I... Oh. Oh, here we go. World type infinite, good, we're gonna need that. Cheats, there it is. I would like to keep it always day for the time being. Keep inventory. Yeah, that doesn't matter. Might want coordinates to help. How do I add the coordinates? What button do I press for that? I'm relying on you guys to help me here. I don't do this very often. Is that the Raceway theme from N64 or am I crazy? No, you are not crazy. I do have some music in the background. So, turn off mob grieving. Okay, sounds good. Oh, there's more stuff down here. Envies drop loot, weather cycle, command blocks enabled. Entities drop loot. I don't really need that. Yeah, get used to a lot of the circuit theme or raceway theme because let me see. Yeah, that's N64 Luigi Raceway from Mario Kart 7. So we've got the front-running version, the Mario Kart 8 version, and then Wario Stadium version for the world. They're all ordered in when they made their retro debut. Don't want a creeper blowing something up. I'm actually playing on peaceful as well, so we're not going to have to worry about mobs. Hostile mobs, at least. Okay, so let's see if we can do anything like that. Oh, hey, look. Let's try. Oh, I see. I kind of see. Okay. So, do I type in that whole command? So, would I type in from, and then the XYZ coordinates, to XYZ coordinates, tile name block, block states. This, in game settings, there's a turn coordinates on toggle. Okay, you guys are awesome, and we are really working with this. General, only allow trusted screen, that does not matter. Video, audio, accounts, I probably don't know. Go back to the game settings. Difficulty, peaceful. Ah, show coordinates. Here we go. Ooh, that's nice. Okay. So, let's... Wait, you've been doing this all by hand until now? Yes. Yes, I have. But this might... Okay, out of curiosity, we could do a fill command. Can we do a removal command too? You guys are like, honestly, I'm really like, you guys are probably going to help me make this a lot easier than it needs to be, or than I was anticipating. Okay. Oh, damn it. Okay, so let's give this a test. I gotta get a pencil. I need to write down my coordinates. Buddy, sit on the couch or bed. Pencil. What the? I wish I could help. I never use commands on console versions as well as Bedrock. Fair. You just used /fill, but using air as the block you're filling with. I love the texture pack for the Mario. It looks like in the game. Yeah, I like the Mario one too because it's like a lot brighter. Okay. Got a small notebook I kept in my art satchel with a whole bunch of different things. A lot of those Mario Kart related. Okay, so coordinates. So we're currently in 4, 2, 8, 6, 4, 133. That's the bottom. Okay, so I'm gonna guess that that's all in order too. So let me see the /fill thing again. This has changed a lot since I started this stream. Okay, so I'm gonna assume that the coordinates are reading X, Y, Z. So X would be 428, Y would be 64, and Z would be 133. So we're down there. Is this an ongoing stream series or just a one-time thing? I've been see, I opened this with the idea that it could be a series thing, but on a few conditions on that we have to keep the expectations realistic here because this is a giant idea. Building every single Mario Kart track in Minecraft would take like probably years at the rate I go. There also has to be a lot of engagement when these things happen for it to continue. So we're off to a pretty good start, if you ask me. This is already more engagement than most of my other streams get. Okay, so let me try this. So let me try going all the way to here. So the position is 441, 64. How am I still? Oh, I guess that's the depth, I guess. And 147. I'm learning some new tricks. I like this concept. I hope it continues. Thank you. That is a good start. If I get that, when we get that, that's a good indication that I would consider, or I would continue this. Weekly, probably not, because I stopped doing weekly streams to avoid burnout, but I am off for the course of January from daily recording and daily uploads, so maybe I'll try to do a few more Minecraft streams in this time, but we'll see. Because I still do have one other stream planned, and that is Sonic Racing Crossworlds when Pac-Man drops. Okay. So, I have the coordinates. The block we're using is grass block. If you were using Java Edition, you can use mods like Axomi to help with the process. Yeah, the thing is, I'm not really... Okay, first off, I don't trust my laptop very much. It's like... It's a strong enough laptop that I can record and stuff, but I think it also clearly shows a few issues. So I don't know how hard that would be. Can you hook up a wired or wireless keyboard to the Switch and Switch 2? That's a very good question. A communication occurred. Communication error occurred. Okay, that's fine. Didn't do anything. Okay. Let me check out what else I need. From... Okay, so blocked states... I've been looking for a really good new and underrated YouTuber slash streamer to support, and I think I just found it. You seem like a nice guy. I do my best. I honestly do, because, again, that's just, like, I just try to be that kind of guy. Okay, so from... Crap, I forget the command already. Okay, how am I gonna... Oh, I guess I could just be using my literal stream to type it in. Okay. I've been hooked on this concept since you released the What If Mario Kart trip was out on one map video over 4 months ago, yeah? I personally enjoy his content. He makes a lot of good ideas come true. I appreciate the compliments, guys. You guys are like... It means a lot to me, especially coming as a small time and like starting out YouTuber. So I'm just gonna pause my stream for a real quick second so I can use this as a reference. Everything in the brackets is just there to tell you what to do. Oh, so I don't need the brackets. So I don't need the brackets, that's correct? Let me give this a shot. I always wanted someone to make this concept. Yeah, dude, trust me. The idea that this goes anywhere would be crazy, but let's find out. You just write out the numbers and block names with spaces between, no brackets. So let's just, do I need the fill, the hash? I guess I'm gonna need the hash, the slash fill. Okay, so from 428, this is a little trial and error. We're gonna, well, I'll make mistakes. 6, 4, 1, 3, 3, 2, 4, 4, 1. At this point, it might have been faster to just fill it in manually. Facts. Oh, no from either. Okay. Okay, good to know. Yeah, honestly, I'm kind of with you on that. Maybe at this point it would have been easier. You don't need the from there either. Okay, yeah, good to know. Yeah. Okay. 1, 4, 4, 6, 4. 1, 4, 7. Let's just see how if this does anything. I'll look at you guys one more time. It'll be good to learn for the rest of the build. Yeah, honestly, it really will be. Well, I clearly didn't do that right. Also, what's my angle right now? How do I... Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah. There you go. My crappy, outdated Among Us meme sweater. I really should consider just playing as one of the Mario skins. Okay, let's go back to an easier route for now, but I have all this written down in a notebook, so we might be able to work with that in the future, after I do some learning. I'll do my best not to work on this outside of stream, but at some point, maybe doing some clearing out of world might be a good idea, so that I'm not doing that on stream. Because that is the reality. We've been doing more of this than we have of actual building. If this does become a stream series, commands are going to be very important, so it's better he learns now. Valid. Yeah, that's a very good idea. I will definitely keep all of that in mind. So once I learn how to do all that, I will probably do a little bit of the clearing out and filling in off screen so that I can try to make building the actual maps a priority here. Speaking of which, let's just do something productive. My brain is trying to figure out commands. Dude, monkey with a loading symbol, that's practically me right now. Okay, so we are down at the bottom corner of the map. Bottom left-hand corner of the map. We're at the red blocks and we're just about to start going up. So, 4 green and it goes, so we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, roughly 6 full lines of blocks. Oh, hey, it's raining. Oh well. So starting with green, let's just go as far as we can. So this is 1. 2. Oh, hi stream. Just pause still. Where are you getting your reference images from? I'm thinking of trying this myself. So I actually have most of the maps saved up myself on my computer. So I have Mario Circuit 1's map literally on my PC right now, my home PC. But I did get the, I got the maps originally from a map, or the Mario Universe site, but I myself actually uploaded most of them to Mario Wiki itself. So if you were to go onto Mario Wiki and look up at the tracks themselves in the info boxes, the map should be there in some of the collapsible spots. You're a very fast builder, and I do my best. I finished the rough draft for Lunar Colony, by the way. Sweet. Shoot, I lost track of where I was. 2. I think we have 2. So this is the third one. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is third. 4. I think I said 6. Oops. That's 4. That's 5. I think we found an obstacle. I'm really sorry, tree. I really hope Mother Nature doesn't smite me for this one later. Just note that I do not condone the idea of clear cutting in reality. Please do not destroy the environment for the sake of building artificial Mario Kart tracks. If possible, do it in your garage. So we're still on row number 5. And then this should be number 6. I'm also gonna count soon. What's your favorite game that is not a Nintendo IP? Well, I mean, Sonic the Hedgehog's really high up there. I love Sonic. A Hat in Time is one of my favorite indie titles of all time. For anyone thinking of trying this, just know you will be clearing grass and trees long before any building can begin. Yeah. Take it from me right here, right now, as I have not done any of the track yet. I've only done the outline. This guy's also been chilling here the whole time. Okay, let me just double check and count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so it's 6, and then there's a green, yellow, and blue at the very end before it starts going to the right. I'm up for the challenge, yeah. You're literally going to be planting 2 massive trees later on. Yeah, but we'll worry about that later. Again, I'm focusing more on the game, on the track itself, and less on the details at the moment. Okay, so that should be everything for going this way. Now it starts with a red up here, and it starts to go this way. We're going to ignore the fact that half of it is or more than less than half of it is floating in the air for now, and we are really far out. Keep in mind, this is Mario Circuit 1. You know, Mushroom Cup SNES track. This motherfucker's huge. And this isn't, again, this is a Mushroom Cup track. Fill coordinate 1, coordinate 2, grass block. That should be the correct command. Thank you. I made a world edit thing without mods so you can fill in landscapes quickly. Good to know. The later games will be a challenge. They don't really have a bird's eye view map. Yes, but I have another method for that in that there are models on like the model resources that you can, or the model resource that you can view in 3D. So I'm thinking of using those for like several of the more challenging tracks. Do you need the brackets? I don't believe I need the brackets. Making tracks like Waluigi Pinball and Coconut Mall would be tough. Yeah, that's another one. Building related tracks are going to be hard. Which, again, is why we're focusing on the track layouts first and the details second. Again, all of this is also assuming we get really far into this, but given that you guys seem very supportive of this idea, we'll get somewhere. I guess another thing I could probably also mention is the order of which I'm going to be building these tracks. We can't just be jumping around from track to track in different parts of the map because I need to have a good way of making them all connect as well. So with our start in the center where the Mario circuits are, that means we're not jumping to like Delfino Pier or Lakeside Park. I need to be able to make my way over there, which means that we're going to be building a few Mario circuits. Now, I was thinking one of the easier ones to do next would be GBA Mario Circuit because SNES Mario Circuit connects and GBA tracks are easy. Plus, GBA Mario Circuit we can work with because we can do what Mario Kart 8 does and do the elevated U-turn. Just note that a lot of this will also be for aesthetic because Mario Kart 8 tracks revolving around anti-gravity means that racing on them by foot would be very hard when you literally have to be upside down for Wii U's Mario Circuit. Also, Wii U's Mario Circuit might actually be a little bit easier to manage because it's floating in the air to begin with, so I might need to clear less in terms of that. Coconut Mall is actually surprisingly easy as long as you have a good map to look at. Waluigi Pinball is very hard for me though. Fair enough. I'm scared of Coconut Mall, to be honest. The model doesn't have any color when you download them, though. Yeah, but I think all I really need is a bird's eye view of the layout, and then the track itself I can make myself. Okay. I would like to try something. So, this... I'm sitting... I think... Okay, let's try this. Are you using the remake version of tracks or the OGs? Vastly depends. I might do a few cases where I mix the ideas. I might go with a few OGs and I might go with a few remakes. It really all depends on how much I like the track. Like for the GBA one, I don't mind using the original layout while elevating the U-turn like in Mario Kart 8. But like I said with Ribbon Road, I would much prefer targeting the OG look than the Mario Kart 8 look. Okay, so 390. Do I need the commas for the coordinates? 6, 7. Oh gosh, I said it. No. Ah, but look what's next. 69. All right. First person to say 6, 7 in my chat gets banned. Not really, but that's a stupid meme. No commas. Okay. Oh, how about Sunset Wilds? I will likely be targeting the OG Sunset Wilds. So let me try this. 515. 67. 194. 68 crying in the corner be like. Okay. Let's try this again. So, what a crazy bunch of coordinate. What a crazy coordinate bunch. Yeah, for real though. Freaking 67 and 69. 69 is the grandfather of the number memes, let's be real. I always thought that meme was going away in 2026. I hope so. I hope it's just one of those cheap ass brain rot ideas that a kid got. Keep in mind that this meme was literally a kid watching a referee keep score. That's how bad brain rot has gotten. Okay. Slash fill 390 67 69. Yeah, that's how you can tell which era I come from. 515 67 194. And then grass underscore block. Let's hope this works. I prefer the GBA version of Sunset Wilds. Same. The block name is grass underscore block. You need the underscore, no capitals. Okay. Does this look correct? I feel like I need to ask that. Are you going to be adding track elements like gliders and speed boosters? If so, you could use soul sand with colored carpet over them and wear enchanted boots. Well, we'll see. If I see that there's probably a lot of people who know a lot about Minecraft. So if you guys are consistent in this series, which so far you seem to be, I will definitely take ideas. Okay. Cannot place blocks outside of the world. What do you mean? Did I screw up my coordinates? What the hell do you mean, game? Some kids saying numbers and going viral is like me saying the word banana and getting like 100 million subscribers. Yup. Your wish was granted. What wish? Well. Okay. Let's go back to the wall while we discuss this further. I like this. You guys are. This is another really great stream, and if it's consistent, we're going with it. This is now officially going to be a thing. Okay, let's start with the wall again. This one, okay. There's going to be the walls don't look too long or hard. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, hold up. Some of the walls get inconsistently messy here. So in the chat section, you can press up and you should get the most recently typed thing. Okay. There we go. I wonder if I did anything wrong. 390, 67, 69, 515, 67, 1. It doesn't look wrong, but what's your least favorite track in all of Mario Kart? Cheep Cheep Lagoon. 3DS Cheep Cheep Lagoon is my least favorite. You know what? Let's get a little additional help here. My internet might lag a little bit because I'm streaming at the same time. This is crazy. I've actually been at this for 3 hours and almost 3 hours. I grabbed my Switch too. I'll figure it out while you place the wall if you want. You know what? That works for me. Yeah, Cheap Cheap Lagoon is my least favorite Mario Kart track on the grounds that in every single one of its appearances, it's not really all that fun. It's not much to look at. In Tour, it's a nightmare to play. It's terrible in that game. And that's really about it. It's so bad in Tour. Okay, anyway, let's go back to the wall. 1, 2, 3. 3 full rows before we start getting a little color weird. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this should do. And then after this red one, it goes yellow, green, yellow, blue, and then it repeats yellow, blue for some reason. I don't know. So green, yellow, blue, yellow, blue. Yes, this is how close my attention to detail is. Making the Mario Kart World Map, World tracks will be interesting since they are already on one big map. Well, considering how my map went, I actually did put them all in different places. They're going to be hard to build, though. Crown City? If at any point I thought making Moon... actually, the Tour City tracks are going to be hard, too. Los Angeles Laps is almost looking like a merciful thing. Okay, so now it goes red, green, yellow, blue, red. See, if I was making something like SNES Rainbow Road, this would be a hell of a lot easier because it's in the sky and all I need to do is just follow a color palette, which I've done many times. Is that Calamari Desert? Yes. What's your favorite song in all of Mario Kart history? Neo Bowser City. I have to go with Neo Bowser City. You made your own map? Yeah, if you want to check my community post, I did post the most recent version of that map. It's still in the works, but I've made a few videos on this topic, so if you want to go and check those out, you're more than welcome to. Yes, Calamari Desert is playing in the background right now. It's the first one. It's the OG, but then we've got the Mario Kart 7 version, the Mario Kart 8 version, and then the World version. Then we have Toad's Turnpike and Rainbow Road, and that's closing out all the N64 music. Let's get the map up. Okay, so now going down, it's literally just one run of each color, and then an extra green. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. 4. Okay. Now we're going to be going this way all the way until it connects over to that area, but we are now going to have to contest with this. But once we do, at the same time, at least we'll know where we need to, what we need to fill in. It's going to be a lot of work. Would you rather erase Mario or Pokemon from existence? My guy, you cannot ask that of me. That sounds interesting. I'll have to check that out after the stream. Yeah, by all means. Making Rome Advanti will be a doozy. You damn right it will be. Do you have songs for Mario Kart 7 Music Park and Mario Kart 7 Rainbow Road in the playlist? Yes, I do. They're not until the Mario Kart 7 section, though. What's this guy doing? Aren't you supposed to be a polar bear? What are you doing here? You know what? Never mind. Okay. So yellow is next. So we got a yellow, blue, and red. And then from here, it's just a straight row of each color. Huh. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. You know what? Let's just keep it simple and just delete what we need. There we go. I knew this was coming, but I asked for this. And then, okay, so after that is one thing of green. Build, damn it. And we should be completely in line. Oh, wait. Now it's 3 yellow. And then the fourth one's down here. I'm so excited for when you put the rainbow roads. Where you put the rainbow roads. Well, that's going to be a fun one because at the very least, I don't have to clear out a lot. The thing is, rainbow roads are very complex in layout, and Mario Kart World's rainbow road is going to be a massive nightmare to build. It should, okay. Hashtag fill coordinates grass block. It should work where the dashes are the coordinates. Maybe you type them in the wrong order. X, Y, Z. And I'm assuming that the way they're written out right there is X, Y, Z, is it not? 516 would be X, 69 would be Y, and 90 would be Z, correct? Both the displayed coordinates and the coordinates you typed are ordered. X, Y, Z. Yeah, so... If new tracks for Mario Kart World come out, would you try to add them? I'd have to. I'd have to. It would make adding them to the world map of Minecraft hard, but we'd have to. I like how you recreate every detail down to the last pixel. That's what makes them best. That's what makes the SNES and GBA maps easy, is that they're a tile set, and each block effectively equates to one tile. You should build all the rainbow roads in the end, and the Bowser's Castle is in the Nether. That's a tempting one, but I do have an idea. With the Bowser's Castles are a problem because they connect to Grumble Volcano and Airship Fortress, which are going to be in different parts. So I think I'm going to keep the Bowser's Castles out in the open, but that is a very like interesting idea. Okay, let's finish up this wall first. Okay, so going down, this is going to be a long downward section. So let's start. We got the blue and a red. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we need 6 rows of the color. So 1. Well, actually, realistically speaking, if I just keep going, eventually I'll hit it. So that's 1. This is 2. Get out. Get off of there. All right. So, at the very least, what we can say is that we have outlined Mario Circuit 1. What on earth can I really say about that? I think I put 5 there. Huh? Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I'm 1 off. Okay, good. I was about to panic there for a second. There we go. Perfect. We have outlined Mario Circuit 1. Now we just have to deal with everything inside of it. Only took 3 hours, yeah, for real. Finally, we finished the outline of the track. Now for the hard part. I don't know if you have done this, but Sky Garden and Cloud Top Cruise should connect to the Rainbow Roads with a giant ramp. So the connecting points to the Rainbow Roads are scattered across the world map itself. And they're through like little portals because like there's obviously got to be multiple ways to get to the Rainbow Road section. Quicker than me at least. Well, hey, I'll take that as a compliment. Okay, so I guess... Are you streaming until midnight? It is 11 p.m. your time. It is not. It's close. But we'll see because people seem very invested and that's literally what the goal was. by the way, I'm happy to have you all here. For all of the people who are watching, I'm so glad you guys all tuned in. That's a good start. And it's really hard to believe that this was the area I was working on compared to everything else that I need to do now. You're the first track in the entire franchise and you're already going to give me a massive headache. Ghost with the Most was right. This is going to drive me insane. But insanity is worth it when I have a lot of people along for the ride. Now we can all go insane together and you guys don't have to worry about having the insanity be that big of a problem. You're watching me go insane. But you guys all seem very supportive of both me and this idea. So that's honestly all I need. Support is important. It's supportant. Pun attempt. Results may vary. Okay. So we got to figure out what we do. Because for some reason the command didn't work. It's midnight for me. Oh my goodness. I guess you did say that for you, you said that the track names for you are like Wario Galleon and stuff. So that would mean that you probably live out in the UK. Yeah, I'm joking with the time. Yeah, I know you are, bud. Nearly 1 a.m. for me. Holy crap, you guys are up late. You guys are up late in your place. I'm getting pretty far on Lunar Colony. Just added the first few buildings on the moon. Impressive. Yay, I love going insane. Apparently I do too. Yes, I am correct. I'm surprised you're not more of a more popular YouTuber. You seem like a really cool dude. Well, I think that's because, again, maybe it's the YouTube algorithm not just putting me in there. Old block handling fill mode. What does that mean? It's almost 6 for me. Oh, I think you're an hour or two. You're like an hour, 2 hours before I am. I'm Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, but like again, if with people like you guys interacting with me, I hope it helps. MST. Okay. Cannot place blocks outside of the world. Yeah, but it's not outside of the world. What do you mean? I wonder. I want to try something. Let me try something different. So... what's the ground level from here? Don't mind me, I just use my gills. So, let's see. Coordinates for this spot. I can't tell if it's 61 or 60. What's your render distance? Good question. Import is supportant. Good one. I watch a lot of G-Wall Pro. Not sure if you know who that is. I'll be sure to mention your channel the next time I'm over there. Actually, I'm subscribed to him too, and I've actually interacted with him. One of his more recent Mario Kart Custom World Rallies, he's featured my rally in there. You could have also placed too many blocks, but I don't know why I would say it's outside the world. I want to try this. So the coordinates for this spot are 391, 61, 69. So maybe I'm doing the coordinates in the wrong order too. Okay. So the starting point, let's try the coordinates again. And I want to go from the bottom to the top. So I would wager that this would be the bottom. Wait. from was first. So we want to go from there to there. Yeah, so 61 and 391. Oh, nope. I thought there was an extra space there for some reason. Okay. Let's get out of there first. Ah, crap. Okay. 3. And then 61. And then, yeah, the rest of those coordinates should be good. He featured mine too. I'll be sure to rewatch and find yours. I think mine was in episode 3. Making Lunar Colony just shows how hard it is to make satellites in Minecraft. Yeah, round things are pretty hard. Too many blocks in the specified area. Okay, so that makes a little bit more sense. Let's try a smaller coordinates then. Let's try... Okay, so that's 418, 64, 131. So let's try this. Oh, whoops. Let's get out of there first. So 418. $64. Ha! Nintendo 64! And 131. Whoops. Cannot place blocks outside of the world. Okay. Hey, I need that. I have another idea. Let's try reversing the coordinates. So 418 64 131 and then it was 390. Oh wait, this might be the oh no, it was 391 61 69 I think. Oops. Huh. Still not getting very far on this one. Building the track over this much water and hills might not have been the best idea. Yeah, it really wasn't, but I couldn't find any other place to do it. I am so confused as to what's going on. Facts. Toad's Turnpike, my favorite track. Yo, let's go! We got another one! I think there's a setting you can change to increase the number of blocks you can fill, but it might be Java only. I did something like this before, but I made Mario Party boards and minigames instead. I made all the Mario Party 1, 2, and 3 before I took a break recently. That's solid. I actually have made Mario's Rainbow Castle on my 3DS Minecraft and Spaceland. But yeah, dude, that's also a champion thing. Oh, hey, watermelons. Okay. Let me look back into my settings. there's the seed number. I don't think that helps anybody though. Respawn radius doesn't matter. Random tick also does not matter. That's my controls, that's my controller stuff, so I do. This is general. Don't honk. Nope. Video. What kind of options are these? To be 100% honest, I don't think we're getting anywhere on that. This is all multiplayer stuff by the looks of it. Okay. I personally don't know. I don't think we can. Looks like we have a lot of builders in chat. Amen. I don't think I've ever met anyone else who thought Toad's Turnpike was their favorite. Respect, man. Dude, that's literally what I was just saying earlier. It's like, I don't know anybody else who has Toad's Turnpike as a favorite track. So, like, mad respect, bud. Okay. Let's just do this, I guess. I just realized grass blocks are not the move because I need to be doing coarse dirt for all this. It's a dirt road. Or it's a... You know what I mean. I've tried making Woohoo Island before and I've gotten to the ruins. That's impressive. That's another one that's going to be a very big nightmare to build. Woohoo Island. Oh, right. There's also the interior wall that we haven't done yet. Okay. Let's just organize ourselves here. Okay. First things first, I'm going to need some coarse dirt. I've got a lot of seeds. A lot of seeds. So let's get rid of those. Coarse dirt. Is there coarse dirt anywhere? Can I get coarse dirt? There we go. There we go. I'm not going to need that anymore. What I am going to need, though, is concrete. Concrete. Here we go. And we're going to need, I think, some gray. Well, let's just start with the gray, because I don't think we're going to be making no road at the moment. For starters, bam. The off-road. I'll be going now. Alright, dude. Have a good rest of your day. I honestly can't wait to make the Woohoo tracks. I need an excuse to make that island. Mario... Oh, no, yeah. Screamer Protector is out. Alright, I will continue this for a little bit, just to kind of, like, maybe flatten things out a little bit more. But I think it's going to be time to soon wrap things up, because I do... It's been a while, but hey, I had the good amount of energy to go through it this long. But it seems very clear that people are very supportive of this idea. So I will see what I can do about getting another stream in the course of January at the very least. Until after that, though, I do have to focus on some of the other games I stream. So Metroid Prime we still got to finish. And then Pikmin 2 will be the next game I play on stream. And all that is also on top of the fact that I do the monthly monthly racing games at the end of each month. So there's that. So I'm going to have to find a way to squeeze Minecraft in there. it's quite possible that this could also fill in the void of, or fill in the spot of the racing games as well. See, this is a little bit easier. Kinda. If I wasn't being blocked off by terrain. There we go. What I'll do is I'll fill most of it in with the coarse dirt before I start actually doing the track itself. So let's see what we can do here. I am going to need to flatten out a lot of this and then build underneath it, but one thing at a time. But we're finally actually getting into the actual track. What did I do there? So much grass. Try standing in one of the corners and replacing that coordinate with the 3. Okay. Or maybe I'll stay, depending on how long the stream is. I'm thinking of half an hour at the most. I'm back. I just had to grab a snack. I don't think you need to fill every hole. No, I really don't. I got the first pipe you drive through done in Planet Pipeline. That's awesome. I'll definitely be subscribing and watching your content. You make some really cool content. Thanks, bud. I appreciate your support. Okay, well, I think for the time being, what I can do is at the very least just fill in everything that I'm going to be working with the coarse dirt. So let's just do that for the last half hour, and then we'll call it a stream. But honestly, the support is meant a lot, guys. So I believe we've got a new mini-series to go through. And by mini-series, I mean, good lord, what have I agreed to? I'm kidding. I actually wanted to do this. But I have to make sure that I reiterate that this is not something I want to stress about. I do not want this to become an undesired hobby. I want this to be something I want to do. So if there's any point that I feel like I'm going to burn out and I need to take a break, I need to take that into consideration. Because I've been stressing over a lot of different things in my life. And some of them I've had to cut back on. Like, I kind of treated my drawing as something I felt like I needed to do because I wanted people to enjoy it. But I think that caused me to lose sight of the reason why I enjoyed drawing to begin with. That, and I also kind of lost a lot of my drive and motivation, and I don't know why. So I'll figure that out later. But this is not something I want to end up being displeased with doing. So, but right now it's good. We've gotten a decent start for what we're dealing with. Realistically speaking, SNES tracks aren't that hard, and the only reason why we're struggling here is because I have a really open map to work with. So, the track is looking pretty good with the scale you're doing. This is actually really good for day one. Facts? Thank you. This could be considered cartography. Or awkward silence. Exactly, it's like... I think it was you. It might have been you who made the comment, was it not? Like, what do you do for a living? Mario Kartography. I loved that comment. Of course, doing a mega project like this will make you burn out eventually. We understand. Thanks, dude. Honestly, let's hope that we don't get there. And if we do, it's something I can just rest from for a little bit and then return to. But I already love that you guys are being really supportive already, considering, I'm a random dude on the internet. At the base of things, we barely know each other, and you guys just watch my content. So I think another important thing about streaming is to get to know people better. Not personally, mind you. I would never ask for anyone's personal details. I have to understand, being a YouTuber also comes with a lot of unfortunate stigmas, I think that's the word. Or unfortunate stereotypes, especially when Minecraft is the debate or topic of debate. But without getting into too much detail, look, I'm a good. You guys all say I'm chill, but I promise you, I do my best, and that's what I think about first and foremost. I'm also a sappy person like this, so. Hope you guys enjoy that. All right. Hey, there's another cow. You are in the wrong track, my friend. Moo Moo Farm is going to be up a little bit more to the north. I've tried making one of your intermission tracks in Mario Kart PC. I haven't finished though. Damn. Yeah, I don't know why the command isn't working. I'm literally typing the same thing onto my Switch and it's working fine. Sorry, I can't help that much. Dude, don't worry about it. If anything, the fact that you already taught me what the command is already a help enough. Because if possible, once I eventually learn how to make it work and what I'm doing wrong, that will be a very vital thing for when it comes to filling in areas. Some areas might be a little bit easier than others, especially when you talk about the idea that Ghost Valley is just a bunch of floating blocks. But that will be useful for filling in water without doing it the hard way. So yeah, got another like 20 minutes or so before I'm gonna pop off. But this has been a pretty solid first day. It's been a lot of just destroying terrain, but you gotta start somewhere. And again, it will be a little bit more of an extra destruction of terrain on the grounds that I also kind of need to break apart this coarse dirt to make room for the track itself. But once I've got all that going, it'll look pretty clean. Trust me, oh, you know what? And even before we leave, I will get up my, so I'm going to say we'll go for another like 12 minutes, and I'm going to get up my other server with Mario Kart tracks so I can kind of show you guys what I've done in the past. If y'all don't mind, because I'm sure, you know, it's relevant. This is a lot easier than clearing things out. I don't know if you guys can hear, but you can, there's N64 Rainbow Road playing. That's a nostalgic piece for me. If anybody else wants a fun fact about my Mario Kart history, it's that I know in very clear detail my very first experience with Mario Kart 64, which is also my very first video game experience in my life. Back when as far as I'm concerned, I was like 3 years old. I picked up the N64 controller for Mario Kart 64. I picked Toad, and the first track I played was N64 Rainbow Road. If at any point you can think of a more insane story for someone to start off with in a video game, let it be known that I started with Rainbow Road, and Rainbow Road was what effectively created my video game life. My first issue was that I didn't know how to steer, so I remember calling it up to my dad, just like, how do I move? Because I was just going in a straight line and I didn't know how to move at that point. And he's like, you have to use the control stick. And the rest is ancient history. I am now the Mario Kart fanatic that I am today. And the Mario fanatic. And the unfortunate Nintendo fanatic, which is coming at a little bit of a problem because of the whole who Nintendo is nowadays. I have been honored for being the first person to join the comment. Well, amen, brother. And I hope to see you again in the future too, which I'm sure I will. What version of Minecraft are you using? Smudgers T40. There are two versions of Minecraft on the Switch 1. Switch 1 edition and Bedrock edition. Ooh, that might actually be a contributing factor. Wait! There are super flat presets. You can do a super flat and have a ton of underground space. Hey, yo! Well, it's kind of too late for that, but look how much we did today. And the Mario Maker fanatic. That would probably be you. Okay, we will look into presets next time, but as much as I would hate to undo all of what I just did, we're gonna have to make some sacrifices and we're gonna have to think things on a more logical scale. Because I'm gonna need A, depth, and B, flatness to get this shit done. And my guy, my friends, my guys, that over there is not flatness, and that over there is not flatness, and that is a strolling stew. How's it going, buddy? Facepalm, yep, for real. I think I'm using the Bedrock version, but I don't know. I'll have to double check. I joined pretty late in the stream, shame. I loved it. Well, you know what, buddy? If you stick around, you'll catch more, because, well, I am on a little bit of a break for January, just to kind of give myself some space to, A, work on some of my pre-existing videos, and B, just to kind of breathe. Work has been... I won't talk too much about my job, but it's been stressful. It's been very stressful. But yeah, no, on a normal basis, I stream bi-weekly. Every other Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I stream. It usually is, at the current moment, it's Metroid Prime with some Mario Kart or other racing games on the Switch at the end of the month. But we're adding Minecraft to that now. I also really appreciate how many of you guys have stuck around for the entirety of this stream. That's huge to me. So, I don't want to, like, get ahead of myself, but I really do think that this Mario Kart map idea might be my magnum opus for my channel. Like, that's a thing that I think I've got going on. But that would explain why I was getting a little bit of elevation there. Yeah, Stroll and Stew. Should I be a comedian? You know what, man? If you make people laugh, that's already a good step in the right direction. I do like laughter. I like making terrible puns as well. That's kind of one of my callings. I've been making dad jokes since high school. Long before I could even think about being a dad. Alright, let's get all these. We got a few more minutes left. I think what I'll do is I'll finish off this little section and then I'll go and show everybody what my other Mario Kart tracks look like. Because I would like to believe that they are pretty damn good looking. Bedrock Edition does not have Bedrock Edition in the name. Damn. What month are you thinking of doing the Miitopia stream in? Okay, so what I'm planning on doing is that once I'm finished Metroid Prime Remastered, I'm going to do Pikmin 2. And then once I'm done Pikmin 2, I'm thinking of doing Miitopia then. Because it's a good game to stream. I know I have a specific friend that I know likes the game, so I know they'll tune in. And again, it's more of an excuse to kind of showcase my OCs to the world in my way. Because they are still a group of characters I'm very proud of, despite the fact that I don't draw or write nearly as much. So, games are kind of how they live through. I use my Miis and my characters for Mario Kart Time Trials, and I've assigned every single track to about 24 of my characters. Also, it should be noted that the Miitopia thing will come with another quirk in that chat gets to decide everything except for the characters I'll be using as my playable characters. You guys will be able to choose the NPC Miis. You guys will get to choose what classes my characters will be. Like, I'm going to make it as much of a chat-involved thing as I possibly can. So, look forward to that because you guys are going to have a lot of control over how the Miitopia run will go. I hope that's incentive to tune in for when it happens. That sounds interesting. Are you an Animal Crossing person? I myself have never actually played Animal Crossing. My brother has, and he said it was kind of hard for him to really get into. But I guess he does own it. I don't know if he owns a physical copy or not, but if he does, I guess I could ask to borrow it if it's, like, something. But I myself have never really found any sort of, like, motivation to try the franchise. But, I mean, if the option's on the table, you never know. If it's owned in my household, then it could be listed as a possibility. Because I know damn well my brother would not mind if I borrowed a game or two from him. My brother and I are on very good terms, especially considering we live with each other. And, like, he's honestly, like, my closest family member that I have. And, like, he's my best friend at the same time. He's been on my channel a few times. We've done Mario Party together. He's tuned in for a few of my friend games for, like, cards and, Gartic Phone. I think Gartic Phone. Maybe. No, I don't think Scribbly yet, but I know he did play some Among Us with me in the day. I do want to get him on for a few more videos, but the case in point is my brother is very important to me. He is my best friend, and yeah. What else needs to be said? He's my buddy. He's my bro. Yeah, if I remember correctly, Burning Baron is not. Yeah, not necessarily. Stroll and Stew better be one of the NPCs. Dude, I can't, like, Sunshine feels like another game that just does not get the respect it deserves from Nintendo. It feels like one of those games where they acknowledge because it's a 3D Mario game in the core series, but that's never enough for them to actually bring back most of the unique characters from. Piantas and Cataquacks and Nokis are about the only thing from Sunshine that ever really reappears. What about the Strolling Stews, my guy? What about the freaking weird-ass Electro Koopas from Peanut Park? Well, I guess there were also like... Oh, there were also a bunch of weird-ass designs for most of the common enemies, like the bloopers or the cheap cheeps. I don't even know if they're cheap cheeps. The Monty Moles had a weird-ass design. Maybe I should just keep working with, like, stuff that's readily available that doesn't involve me breaking apart shit. Oh, you know what? I think it's... Oh. Someone died. Moving on. It's just roughly about time to wrap it up anyway. So, let's just do it. This is what happens when I play Minecraft. I'm always like, just a little bit longer, just a little bit more. And then next thing you know, I've built an entire track and I'm like, shit, I was supposed to stop a while ago. Okay, time to exhibit a little bit of self-control. For day one, not bad. I love Mario Sunshine. I used to play it every day as a kid. It was one of my very first GameCube games. I believe my dad got us the Sunshine bundle with it. Okay. Let's quickly jump into here because I want to show this. I do know an Animal Crossing fan. I know there are people who would be fans of it. Get him to work on this with you. He could. I think, yeah, he does have Minecraft on his Switch because he plays with his friend lots. Mario Sunshine is a very weird looking game looking back on it. It's a good game, just odd. Yes, that's true. I think the other thing about Mario Sunshine is that it's pretty infamous for its A, janky ass camera controls, and B, its infuriatingly hard levels. Keep in mind that Sunshine has some infamous levels. The Pachinko Machine, the Lily Pad Ride, Corona Mountain itself. Hell, I can name a few other levels that are pretty bad too. Like, the Hotel Lobby Secret is not easy. The Shell Secret is not easy. The Goopy Inferno was something I could not figure out as a kid. So, yeah, Sunshine was an experience. You think you can load a little faster, game? All right. Well, we'll finish this stream off on a little bit of a showcase here. Let me go to the beginning, because I got a map set up. Here, take a wild guess on where we are. Luigi's Casino. Yeah, I love how they use the casino from... Super Mario Sunshine is the basis for that. Whoa. I wonder. N64? Yeah, okay, so these ones are a little bit more ordered. First, let me show this. This is the map itself so far. These are all the tracks I've built. The SNES tracks look crazy small in comparison to the N64 tracks, but don't worry, we'll go in detail in a second. So as you can see, we have SNES Vanilla Lake 1, SNES Mario Circuit 3, SNES Rainbow Road, Choco Island 1, Frappe Snowland, Calamari Desert, N64 Bowser's Castle, which somehow ended up being smaller. Toad's Turnpike, which is definitely one of my better works on the track. We have mostly half-finished Cheeseland. We have the outline to Sunset Wilds, Broken Pier, Boo Lake, and what looks to be part of N64 Rainbow Road. Wow, they all look very accurate. This is amazing. Well, thank you guys. So yeah, Vanilla Lake was the first one I did. Tour definitely helped inspire a lot of this. So it's a little bit weird on the road side over here, but overall, everything else is pretty one-to-one. The same can be said about Mario Circuit. It's all like, all these SNES tracks are pretty one-to-one. This is also really why I want to have a flat preset. We got SNES Rainbow Road, which is definitely one of the easiest tracks you could ever make. You find the map, and each individual tile on that map is literally a block. This is as one-to-one as it gets. The SNES ones look straight from the game. Hell yeah. Thank you. I think Switch Edition and Bedrock can't do multiplayer with each other. I mean, it depends. I know that the Switch version is compatible, cross-compatible, but it's just like Nintendo won't let you see any sort of Mario-related stuff on it. These tracks look so good. Thank you. So yeah, Choco Island 1, I made this mostly when the cooking tour was active because it's like Choco Island 1 never came back yet. Calamari Desert is another one that was really well. It's not as bumpy. It's like flat as opposed to, you know, dimensional. But it's really fun to look at because I did the train tracks as well. And while the canyon's a little bit smaller than it should have been, and someone pointed out that it looks like a chicken wing, I should also have you all know that the tunnel is also completed. So you could go right through. You could technically race N64 Calamari Desert 2 on this version because of the fact that, you know, Calamari 2 is just a reroute of Calamari Desert. Up over here, we have Frappe Snowland, which was a lot of fun to make. I had a lot of fun making the snow walls, the large river. I did have to make it out of blue ice just to make it different from the road, like the road different from the snow. And I made the snow a little bit higher just to kind of, you know, separate it from the road. But yeah, this one was another fun one to make. Will you add tour trick variants? To the main map? No. To this? Very possible. It would be fun to add some extra ramps. Oh, I also didn't do the snow sculptures. I don't think I need to go that far just yet. Will you be able to do pig racing on these tracks? Maybe. It might be hard to get over some of the jumps. And I don't think the pigs are necessarily built with built-in gliders, but you could theoretically pig race on some of these, especially the ones with no jumps. Okay, but I have to say this one's got to be like probably my pride and joy. It took a while, but this is also as accurate could possibly get. N64 Bowser's Castle. I used, like, I think this block was perfect for the castle itself. Choco Island looks exactly like how I made it recently. Hey, thank you. I honestly, again, I love the compliments, and if I ever find a way, like, I think maybe if I ever open, like, a community for my channel, I would love to see what you guys build, too. But yeah, no, Bowser's Castle was one of my favorite ones. There's Marty's supposed to be in there, the Thwomp. There aren't actually any Thwomps here, though. But we got the lights. The lights even look almost the exact same as they did in Mario Kart 64. This room with the statues, the bridge area with the lava. Some Bowser. I got the Bowser paintings even. They're different, but they're Bowser. Here's the courtyard area. And then, obviously, outside, we've got the giant spiral staircase up or the spiral ramp up the tower. If anyone's seen the custom Mario Kart 8 track that someone did of this one, it's phenomenal. The way it like goes upward and all around is so beautiful. Over here we have Toad's Turnpike, which is, honestly, I've done this once before, but it looked so bad. This is so much better. It actually looks very well rounded. You should try Mario Kart PC on your PC. You can even make your own tracks on it in any style. Wow, I'm thinking of making N64 Bowser's Castle soon, and there's no way I can do it this well. Honestly, dude, if you want my hint and opinion, if you can find, there should be a overview version, like I was saying, on Mario Wiki. I think it's another one I uploaded. If you look at Bowser's Castle from the above view, the tiled interior is a very good working point because, again, each block can effectively become one tile. And if you were to take it into something like Microsoft Paint and just take each tile and place it over the carpeted areas, you can actually figure out how to do it very well. That's how I got all this carpeted area set up. So the carpeted area takes up roughly about 4 blocks. Same with the sides of the road in this in particular room. And once you have all the interior of the castle down, it's actually like some of the other stuff can follow in suit. I will admit that this in particular area might be a little bit troublesome, but try to just focus on making it a circular round tower like this. That's the advice I can do. A small Minecraft build you could potentially do is Lake Lapcat. It's small enough that it could work. Yeah, I need the game first. You represented our favorite track well. Good job. Thank you. I've made a track called Gorilla City. Interesting. Okay. Let me finish off with some of the GBA ones. Now, the Cheeseland is in progress, but I'm not afraid to show it. Plus, there's the outline of Sunset Wilds over here, which is just empty. The idea of making my own tracks would be pretty fun, though. I guess another thing I could also do is go into Mario Maker at some point and show that off, too. I do believe I have a Mario Maker stream somewhere. Yeah, Cheeseland is coming along very well. I haven't been active on Minecraft for a while. Otherwise, it's just like this beginning area and a little bit... Oh, no, it literally is just this beginning area. It's a matter of telling the difference between the off-road, the mid-road, the actual road, and the whatever this is. It's like got 3 different shades of yellow for the map, and it's really confusing. Also, I even did the ramps in here because that's actually a part of the shortcut in the GBA version. Someone say Mario Maker? I did. I played a lot of that too. Mario Maker for me is a little harder though on the grounds that I need a good idea before I can actually do anything in it. Alright. Up next is Broken Pier. Broken Pier does not take place over a lake like Boo Lake does. I just kind of made it floating here. This one wasn't too hard. I think there were some points where I might have messed up, but again, pretty faithful. Just kind of follow the wall blocks to create the outline. But Boo Lake, this is another one that I was really proud of. I kind of mixed the tour and the original together in that it's over a lake, but it's got the original giant layout. So everything's much bigger, more spaced out. Yes, those are the dash panels. What's your most favorite game mechanic in Mario Kart from any game? Ooh, good question. Let me just finish up here, because while there isn't any anti-gravity, there is underwater. For Boo Lake, I did sink the entire bottom half of the course. Can I, oh well. You can kind of see it. But yeah, it's still got the big layout. It's still got the bigger layout of the original, with the idea of it being underwater for a majority of it. And that's pretty much all I've done, aside from the half-done Rainbow Road up here. I struggle with the opposite. I have too many ideas. 100 levels is not enough. That's impressive, dude. You, honestly, again, I would love to see what you guys can do. I'll have to check out some of your channels. Maybe if you've made any videos of such, I'll check them out. What's your... Okay, back to my favorite mechanic. Ugh, okay. Let's see. Where's my Rainbow Road? I think it's over here. So, Super Mario Kart doesn't really have anything too special. I mean, 64 technically is the 3D aspect, but that's also not special. I would say we could start with... Okay, Double Dash had, obviously, the 2 racers thing, which was really fun, especially since you could do co-op with that shit. Yeah, that's all I have of Rainbow Road. It's, yeah, this would be a project. And it's not looking too pretty at the moment, so hopefully our version will do better. DS would technically, I would say, have, like, the introduction to retro courses. Mario Kart Wii had the introduction of tricks and bikes. 7 had underwater and gliding. 8 had, anti-gravity, and World has the world map. Okay. I think what would go without saying is that underwater and anti-gravity and gliding are like foundations to the Mario Kart series at this point. So those are vital and important. Would I say they're my favorite? It's hard because it doesn't... Gliding is very one-dimensional. It's just you're gliding in a straight line for the most part. It's cool where they've implemented it, And underwater racing is literally just the track, but in underwater where necessary. So it's more or less of an aesthetic difference, but the gameplay of underwater has not been very friendly in certain cases. You know what? From a fundamental standpoint, though, Mario Kart Tour's reverse tracks are some of my favorite ideas, and I wish they brought that back. I wish that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe had a reverse mode. I think if I were to have to pick a favorite thing, excluding the idea of retro tracks, because that would probably be my favorite, reverse variations in Tour has to be my favorite gameplay idea that they've introduced. Well, I appreciate the compliments, guys. I've made some cringy content, do not watch. Okay. I was about to post some videos before my brother deleted it all. Maybe I'll make some showcases when I'm done. Dude, if you do, I would tune into that. I would watch it. So, yeah. I think it's about time I wrap things up. I had a lot of fun. I'm so glad I got so much interaction with all you guys. This has been another very fantastic stream. So, with that said, we will continue this mini-series. Watch Chip. Okay, I'll look into that, whatever that is. Fun live stream. Thank you. I really, again, I couldn't thank all of you enough for tuning into this. The engagement, I think, is enough to say that this can keep going. So, tune in. I don't know, like, I'll try to do another one over the course of this month. But, yeah, I will consider this for the end of the month of each month I'll consider this as another game to play. So, I hope you guys all enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace out, guys, and thank you again.